Uh, Hello everyone, I'm Bald Sheepdog aka Birdmaster Jr. Today I'm with Travis and Anthony the Gamer. Guys, say hello.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Alright, tonight is guys' night, guys. We're waiting out for our good buddy Adam there. He'll be coming on. But we'll get everything sorted out right then after that. So tonight's show is going to be a little different. We're going to actually be talking a lot more on this show tonight instead of just getting straight through to any video game or gameplay instead of streaming. We can do that on other ends. But if you guys are interested in tonight's show, we're going to be talking a little bit about movies, a little bit about like SEA combat between LARP. Pretty much, we're just going to talk the whole show. We're looking for feedback, hopefully viewer interaction. That way we can, figure out what you guys want us to talk about and make life a little easier. So, yeah, guys.
Well, what a way to start off 2015. Something new.
Oh, and crazy too. Going on from the issues happening in France to everything else that's going on, I'm really surprised. Um, I was not expecting this week to go like this so far.
I've been in a box. What's going on in France?
Ooh, okay, you know how Canada we had our terrorist attack last year in October or so?
Yeah.
France had a terrorist attack. Gunmen went down the street, I think killed something like 11 people or so. I'm a little fuzzy on it, but and then they had one today. Again, it's pretty bad down in France right now. It's all over news media and all this. There's some bad stuff happening in the world, and the world is getting nothing but darker for those situations because a couple of bad people want to do bad things.
Seems like between that and the cold weather, people can't catch a break.
No, man, no, not at all. So, like, I don't know about you guys, but like Anthony, I know you work from home mostly. I don't know much about you, Travis. Like, I just finished getting back into work and back into the swing with things, which is a bit of a nightmare. Um, Going from 3 weeks off, sitting on my butt, playing video games and doing all that type of jazz, and then, all right, I gotta wake up, I gotta shave every day, I gotta get a haircut, and kind of lose my mind. How was your guys' first 9 days of the new year, like first week of the new year?
Well, for me, usually I get up every day and, I check my email and I post articles based upon what PR department send me. And this week, I see the emails and I'm just not enthusiastic about posting. So I mean, I guess I'm out of shape with posting. I just don't want to do it, and I've gotten lazy. So I'm posting maybe 2 or 3 articles. I don't have no problem this week making game videos or anything because I've been doing that throughout the holiday as well. But with the posting, I'm like, I don't want to do it, and I haven't really seen too many things that were interesting in gaming. Period. So it's like, I might post this. Evolve had some new updates and something on Assassin's Creed this past week, but just haven't really been in the mood to even post. So yeah, trying to get back into swinging things, just like you.
It's kind of like sitting down too long. For me, it would be like on the toilet with with your cell phone out, because
Yeah.
it only take 5 minutes, now it takes like an hour. But when you sit down too long on the toilet and your legs go numb, and then you like try and get up, you're like, and you're like glitching across the ground trying to walk forward. It's not working for you. Uh, so biggest news tonight. Taken 3 comes out. What do you guys think about
Yeah.
that?
Um, I, I like Liam Neeson as a actor, but after the first two, I'm kind of like, dude, why didn't you like move somewhere else? Like, you should have been off the grid like after the second movie.
I feel sorry for that motherfucker, man. That's all I can get. I feel sorry for that motherfucker because no matter what shit is happening to him, like sorry for my swearing, everyone. I apologize in advance. I am trying to not swear, but that's like trying not to breathe for me. But no, like you think about it, Liam did Taken 1, right? Like Taken, awesome movie. I really enjoyed it. I was like, wow, that's original. And then they did a number 2, and I'm like, no, it's not so new. It's not so original, right? It's okay. Now 3, like I
I
don't
heard
know.
bad things about 2, so I didn't never watch 2. I seen the first one. After that, it's like I don't know. Should I get back into this thing or what?
It's it
Yeah.
seems like they're trying to make like a Born Identity out of it, or a what's that other like almost like a James Bond series, but kind of like James Bond is getting to the senile senior days where he's going to end up like going to the early bird special and having to shoot a couple of dudes because they stole his fucking his parking pass.
I get that, but I was thinking with the characters that I just don't see how they're still making movies that people actually care about the characters, that much. Um, I I think the storyline was the main thing that brought the first movie in, and it wasn't really the characters per se.
Mm-hmm.
I like you said, the actors in it, Nielsen, he's so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that he's not a bad actor.
No, he's not a bad actor. Like Liam Neeson is probably one of the I want like he's in my top 30 of actors.
Yeah. Like I can take the whole Taken
My list of
series,
actors goes way back.
mhm, but I'll like take Liam Neeson with the Taken series, right? Um, it's a good role for him, but it isn't his role. Is what I believe in my mind. Like I don't know if you guys have seen. Geez, I just bought it too. Equalizer.
I wanted to see that with Denzel Washington.
Mhm.
I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's on my radar. Yeah, as well.
Now, this is what I will say for you guys. Since you guys haven't seen it, but I have, Equalizer. I went and seen it in theaters, and I went and bought the Blu-ray copy right after. This movie is shocking. Okay, it is a surprise to you. This is the movie Denzel was meant to play. It is dark, very dark, but intriguing. It's kind of like you're not supposed to go and play on like that part of the road or like in that part of the forest or like you're not supposed to go in a certain area, but you go there anyway, and when you come back, you feel great about it, right? Like you're like, oh, they don't know. And this is the role that Denzel Washington needed to secure his career. That I think, in my mind.
I mean the movie that sealed his career was Training Day.
Yeah, but it's like a training day. It's like training day.
It's like Training Day.
It brings back. Okay, you've seen like Flight and all those other Denzel Washington movies, right? Okay, like those are okay movies, good roles. Not a Denzel Washington role. This movie, like Man on Fire, take Man on Fire and Training Days and smash those two together.
Oh man! All right, see now I gotta go watch this movie now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you sit there and you're shocked at what you're watching, but at the same point you're I wouldn't want to use the words turned on, but yeah, you are. You're like this, not erotically, but you're turned on like mentally. You're like this is like
This is mentally intriguing.
you want more and more. You want to eat it up.
Right.
You can't help but watch it.
It sparks your
I get where you
interest.
come from.
And like with the Taken series, like it feels like it's turning into another Born Identity, like a Born series, right? Because Taken 1 was great, just like the first Born movie was great. Taken 2,
Right.
was okay. The second Bourne movie was okay, and then like Taken 3, and like you guys seen like some of the last Bourne movies where it just kind of like and tumbled downhill because you're like this isn't what I'm used to. Like the first one was great because you had Matt Damon. Second was awesome because you had Matt Damon, and then the third one threw this random character in, and he was the goal of everything, and you're just like, what is this? It's like trying to mix flour with a knife, right? Like it just doesn't work. But no. So what do we got? What do we got upcoming in the? And then like Taken 3, and like you guys seen like some of the last Bourne movies where it just kind of like and tumbled downhill because you're like this isn't what I'm used to. Like the first one was great because you had Matt Damon. The second was awesome because you had Matt Damon, and then the third one threw this random character in, and he was like the goal of everything. Like what is? I hear a double of myself. I stopped talking because I thought someone else was talking.
Like what's going on here? Like, what just happened? What was that?
We just had Inception. We had me talking within the talk. We had the. Is this literally happening? Okay. So yeah, I know other movies that are coming out within January. I know on the 16th, I think American Sniper is coming out, which is something I'm interested at looking at because I want to see how they portray this movie. Yeah.
I want to see how Bradley Cooper does with a serious role from, like, this is an emotional role that he hasn't had for a while. Bradley Cooper anyway, he hasn't had an emotional role in a long period of time throughout his career, and I want to see if he can still bring that action to a real life story. And the story, it speaks to me because I have friends in the military and they're over there, they're fighting, and one of my closest friends, he's really messed up. Like, they got him in psychiatric treatments and all this other stuff like that. But he's gonna go see it, and he's supposed to be like, yeah, we're gonna go see this movie. I'm like, dude, are you sure you want to go see this? Because you live this. This is not. This is not like.
The big thing for people like that, like to go from a military role and actually you're really interested in watching a military movie.
Right.
There's some movies which can bring you, I'd say, emotion, flashback, or stuff like this. But like with all your training with counseling and all that, like these guys, like it's mental health and all this. Guys go in for PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and they try and get rehabilitated, which is the best thing we can do. But going to one of these movies is like one way of being able to do that. Like I had a buddy of mine came back from Afghanistan, and he was like one of the like rear drivers in a convoy. His call sign was always near the rear. So when he got home, he got out of his car or like off the plane, greeted his wife and all. He's like, "I'll drive home," and he got in the car and he started driving, and he followed the car in front of him, like 30 miles past where he lived. Like he just kept following it because that's what's entitled into his brain.
Right. That's what he's been doing for like the past year and a half. Like.
No, like I can understand in a war situation where you're wondering, hey man, is this gonna like tweak my friend or anything like that? Don't really worry about it. If they have an actual issue, the biggest thing that they know is like they're not there, so they might have some emotions. They might get up, they might walk away, and that's all right. That's okay. They need the time. They need the time to be able to clear their mind or so, because a lot of stuff that happens over there is not an easy thing to talk about. Like,
right.
I go to Legion all the time, or I don't know what you guys call it. I go to the Legions for we call it the Legion. It's pretty much where veterans go to drink.
The VF Dubs.
Yeah, and like young boots will go in and stuff like that. I'm using the term boot. That's awesome. So young boots will go in and whatnot, and they'll be surprised by what happens. Like now, I've got almost 8 years in the military, and I still go to these Legions just to be able to talk with the vets from earlier generations. I'm talking the Vietnam,
right.
Korea War, and all that, and just be able to swap stories. Now, that's a crazy thing, but when you look at the movie like American Sniper, right? he's going there not only because as some part of it we are kind of like a little adrenaline junkies, right?
Right.
But we're also going to be picking ticks off your back like a monkey, like we when we go to a movie and it's a military movie.
It's like, what did you get wrong? It's
Exactly.
like, oh, you got this little thing wrong right here. His uniform's not in order. Like, oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah. We go there to nitpick shit, but we enjoy it. Like I went and seen the movie Fury, right? And actually, I got to see it with my squadron, or my, if it was an infantry unit, it'd be my company or so. So I got to see it with my tanker buddies. We rented out an entire theater to watch the movie Fury. So you're talking, you got a theater room full of 80 or so armored soldiers to watch an armored movie, right? Because not a lot of armored movies have come out. I think the last one was The Beast, and that was about a T-72 tanker. So we get in there, and in the first 5 minutes, Buddy pisses in an ammo can. Right off the bat, everyone's like, "This movie is accurate." Yes. Like we instantly were like, "Yep, that would happen." Sorry, I'm trying to cut my swearing, but that would happen. Like I can tell you, it's changed from ammo cans to Gatorade bottles.
Right.
If you see a soldier buying Gatorade in a wartime zone, there's 2 uses for a Gatorade bottle. Actually, 3.
Oh yeah.
1 to drink the Gatorade. 2 to use it as a spit cup or a spittoon for chewing tobacco, and 3 is for urination when you're inside a vehicle and you can't get out. So, just small things like that. We go to nitpick movies. Like, my friends don't like me even going to any war movies with them. They're like, "Hey man, there's a war movie." I'm just like, "That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong." We can't help it though, because if we live the lifestyle, and then somebody's like, "Hey, here's a movie," and it's all war, that would not happen. And we could say that.
Right.
And with certainty, so kind of like nitpick it, and it's a bad thing. Anyway, out of that, what about this SpongeBob movie that's coming up? You guys seen the CGI for this?
It looks kind of over the top.
I don't know.
I don't let my kids watch SpongeBob like at all.
No?
So I can't. I really don't. SpongeBob is just like, I feel if you watch SpongeBob for 7 hours, I feel like your brain cells just start going bye-bye. Like, it's just gone.
Oh, it's better than that Foursquare TV show.
Alright, that's true.
Like, come on, I was at my sister's place with my nephews, and like that thing was playing for 3 hours. I started chewing on rubber bands. Like, it was bad.
I mean, it's bad. It's horrible. Like, but when it comes down to like kids and fundamentals and educating their minds and all this other stuff, like, have you heard the dark side about SpongeBob?
Nope.
Like,
do explain.
SpongeBob is compared to as the 7 deadly sins. Yeah.
Go ahead. I gotta listen.
All right. Sandy, I believe Sandy is pride. Plankton is envy. SpongeBob is lust. Mr. Krabs is greed. Patrick is sloth. I'm missing somebody. Hold on, I'm missing. Squidward is wrath.
The tick?
What else? Huh?
The little sea tick?
Yeah. Plankton? No, Plankton is envy because he's jealous of Mr. Krabs and his success. Whereas Sandy is about pride because she's always trying to be the best at everything. Mm-hmm. SpongeBob is lust because he always wants to hug people. Just overly loving to everybody that he meets. Yeah, so it's just like certain things that people have come up with, and you're just like, wow, this just really messes up my childhood a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it goes a long way from Mr. Dressup, right?
Yeah.
We live in a lovely neighborhood. You lie, Mr. Sweaterman.
I mean, there's two sides to SpongeBob though. There's like a side that a friend of mine brought up was that SpongeBob has no. Usually, there's not really much moral lessons in SpongeBob. SpongeBob usually they call each other stupid a lot. You know, he's stupid. Look at you, you're dumb, dumb, and there's a lot of name picking, and some parents don't really like that aspect of it.
Mhm.
But in the end, though, one thing that people don't realize is that SpongeBob also, though he's name called and ridiculed, he doesn't let it get to him, and he still enjoy his life. It's like ignorance can be bliss, you know. And but
Yeah.
it's there's a lot of bad things on television these days, in my opinion, and SpongeBob can be one of those things. It's kind of like, in my opinion, like reality TV.
Let's
Just
not, let's not talk reality TV until next. Reality TV is meant for another show. We'll do that next Friday.
Oh man. But as it goes for like the SpongeBob movie, I saw the animation for it. I like how I can't say I liked how, but it's interesting to see how they went from their normal style of graphics that they see every day on Nickelodeon to this CG world animated, like brought to life action, and it kind of messes with me a little bit.
It,
Like,
it
come
really
on now.
does. It's like when Family Guy did that episode where Peter was in like real life, right? Like that just it kind of messes with you. Like
Yeah,
like you
like
watch
Stewie
TV
and Brian,
Go ahead.
like Stewie and Brian sitting there like really like live as an actual baby and a dog, and you're like, oh wait, this just got a little creepy.
Yeah, like I'm actually just watching a baby and a dog on TV. Yeah. No, it's well, TV like shows bring you to a new world, right? And when they mix that world with real world, sometimes it can be good. Sometimes you just like kind of look at it like I would if I seen a large giant sponge talking to me, I would get a gun. I'm sorry. I would be like if a large sponge like, hi, how's it going? Like, yeah, this is my
Bring
friend.
the
And a
heat.
large starfish is standing next to him. I'd be like, stuff's gone wrong. Going to the armory. Be right back. Guys, stay here. Stay here. Just give me a sec. I'll buy you a Pepsi or something. Give him some Pepsi, and then I'll be like, can you give me 5 minutes? I'll be right back. I just gotta use the washroom. And I come back and I just like mow them down because it's the most freakish thing in the world that you could ever imagine. So they got a new hot tub time machine coming out.
Oh, see, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I like that
I
other one too.
See, I don't know. Like, how do you top the first one? The first one was great. Like, Buddy singing Outcast, and you got Buddy changing Google over to Lugal and all that
Google.
other stuff. It's like, it was really good. It was a great movie, all-around movie. It wasn't the best, but as a movie, it was a solid, structured movie. Now they got
I mean, it's something that you can go see though.
yeah, but now they got number 2, right? Like, now it's just a relapse. Like, it says it in the name, Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Like,
Right.
unless they bring it forward in time so they can see how their lives are going to end out, and they go, oh, and then they come all the way back, or I don't know. Like, it's I got reservations on it for myself because
Is it the same cast?
a lot of the same cast.
I think the only person that's not in it is
Buddy there, the first actor, like almost like the main storyline guy, the dark-haired guy.
yeah, the one that actually like made them go to the cabin and everything. Like Lou's in it.
Yep.
Um,
Jacob, Nick, the repairman. Chevy Chase is in it. Craig Robinson, Clark Duke, Rodney Cordy is in it. You got Adam Scott and Gilligan Jacobs.
right.
I'll read you the storyline out here. So when Lou finds himself in trouble, Nick and Jacob fire up the hot tub time machine and attempt to get back to the past. But they inadvertently land in the future. Oh, yeah, so there you go. Like, it's Back to the Future. I friggin' just caught that. So, inadvertently land in the future with Adam Jr. and now they have to alert the future in order to save the past, which is really the present. The sequel from the same team that brought you the original cult hit. See, and that's the problem with. I find this like okay, so they're going to the future, right? That's what the synopsis is saying. But that kind of burns me a little bit because like the only difference is you're going forward, like, and you're doing the same thing, trying not to mess up, right? Because like the last
Well, I
movie,
mean, did you see the trailer for it?
no, not yet. You got a
Like,
link?
yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer for it, and I
Actually,
watched the trailer twice, and because my friends, they're sitting up there like, "Yo, Hot Tub and Time Machine, we're gonna go see it."
was it the
And
red
I
band
saw
or?
Hot Tub Time. I was I mean, I don't know where it was. I watched it on World Star.
I'll try the red band one. It's got the most views, like 1,800 or 18,000.
Yeah, it's probably on Red Band.
All right. One sec. For any of you that aren't watching this, feel free to check it out really quick. And now this one's what the heck? I got a movie like or an ad. I hate ads. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me a moment. It actually looks really good. The Imitation Game. You guys ever see that?
Salma Hayek has a new movie coming out too.
What's that?
Salma Hayek,
Yeah.
she has a movie called Everly. It's coming out. Saw the trailer for that the other day. It was, I mean,
I'll just
what
watch
I'm,
it because he's in it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would watch it just because Salma Hayek is in it. But um, it looks like one of those old school like hmm, I don't want to say grudge movies, but I want to say what is it
My camera's having
oh man
issues.
what's that term I'm thinking of? Gruesome, gory, shoot 'em up, just all around, just straight killing people type of movie.
Okay, so what about that? I'm like half.
Everly. Salma Hayek's new movie is called Everly, and basically she's trapped in a building, and there's a whole bunch of people in there that's just trying to kill her, and she calls her mother to basically come to the building so she can give her enough money to start a new life.
Hmm.
Like, but apparently, like she's already like stuck, like, oh yeah, I'm about to die situation in this house. But all the trailer just shows her just going through like rounds after rounds after rounds, just annihilating like different people. I'm like, wow, this is great.
Hmm.
Selma Hayek guns and just shooting people up. I was like, all right, I can watch this.
Yeah. All right, so there's a couple of other movies that are coming out. In March, there is the new Paranormal Activity. I,
Yeah, I'm
I
kind of done with that.
I don't know if I can jump on another Paranormal. It's kind of like I don't know. I've seen it twice. Like stuff's I want to say the other word, but stuff's gonna move around and you're gonna get a little freaked out. Your adrenaline's gonna rush, but in the end, there's no
It's,
big storyline.
Time to kill it, basically.
Mhm.
Just
I
let
mean,
this be the last one.
Yeah,
what was
hopefully.
your favorite? Like, what? All right, what was your favorite moment in the Paranormal series?
I think the ending of the first movie. That's
When
it.
when she
I
goes into the
agree. The
house.
first movie, it's
Mhm.
just like the Blair Witch Project. After a while, why do a sequel? You just end it.
Movies like that,
All
like
right, so did anybody see the one with the two little girls?
Shining.
No, the Paranormal with the
So
two little
you say
girls.
two little girls, and I automatically think they're just Shining. Come play with us. We can play with you. Children in the
The
corners.
twins in the hallway.
Yeah.
Metro, Metro.
Keep interrupting again. Oh, no worries, Aunt. Don't worry about that. You do your stuff. We'll continue the conversation. You can jump back in at any time. Um, Now like with the second one, I started watching and I was like, all right, I'm done. like 20 minutes in, and I feel bad for it. Like I kind of like condemned the movie before I actually like finished it. But I looked at the movie and I'm like, it feels the same. Like you know when you drive the same car for so long, you just kind of get bored of your car. No matter how awesome of a car it is, you're just like, eh. So you always want
Yeah.
something new. And then you jump in a new car, and it feels worse than the car that you had before, and you're just like, or it feels exactly the same. You're just like,
I miss my
no,
old car.
I'm gonna go back to my other car, right? Like I love this thing. So that's how I felt going through the paranormal series. Not saying this one won't be great. This one might be the best. Like you never know. That's always what I like about the toss up of movies. Like it's a crap shot. It's a flip of a coin. Either you go, you see it, and it becomes the best movie of your year, or it's one of the worst. Like for me, as I want to go back, the Denzel Washington movie there,
Equalizer.
Equalizer is my favorite, my personal favorite movie of 2014 because it's the role that Denzel needed. It's the role that brought him back. But other than that, what else do we got under movies? Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Like, I'm sorry. I am sorry. You got Paul Blart Mall Cop. Okay, that came out original, funny, hilarious. Now you're going number 2? What, is he finally moving out of his mom's house? Like, maybe Anthony can figure this one out for me.
Everybody want to be the next blockbuster series, but it's not gonna happen when you force it.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, like, what, is he in a better mall or a worse mall? Like, like the first one was funny because it was original, and like you got to go see it. Like, it's just like the same with the Dumb and Dumber, and then you got the Dumb and Dumber 2, right? So
Yeah.
the first one was amazing, hilarious. Like you could watch that movie 6 times in a row and still not get bored with it. The last one, I'm a big Jim Carrey fan, but it's like okay, it's a little quirky, it's a little funny, and you had laughs. Yeah, like people sat there, and I read the Metascore or whatever it is, read the reviews, and everyone's like, "This movie's crap," and it's like, if you're an actual fan of like the characters, they have the same quirks that they were meant to have. Like, what were you expecting them to get in a massive gunfight and like win battles or something? Like people are like, this movie's crap. Like you came what you expected for it. Exactly with the what's the movies that I'm thinking of? Um, Expendables. Okay, so you don't watch the Expendables for the storyline. You watch the Expendables for the reason that they promised when they were talking about the movie is there will be action heroes, there'll be guns, there'll be death, there'll be explosions, there'll be general action, like 80s style action, like people gonna die. And people went there and they watched the movie and they delivered on their list of what they wanted to just say that they're showing. Like, it's generally just a gun fest. Same thing with Expendables 2 and Expendables 3. And that's what you expected from the movie. And people love it. Dumb and Dumber, same situation. You shouldn't really expect this amazing storyline, right? You should just expect this little quirky movie about two idiots. Done and done. And love them for the fact that they were in your childhood and that they still act the same way. But we got other ones out here. So Paul Blart Mall Cop, we've kind of talked about that. What about the Fear? Oh, geez, this is a big topic. So the Furious 7. I believe this is the Fast and Furious 7. It's Furious 7.
Yeah. I have a little bit of hope for it, but it's a part of a 7-part franchise.
Yeah.
And
which has gone downhill. But you know, after the untimely death of Paul Walker, you know, at that sense, like you want to see what he's because Paul Walker was not a bad actor at any point. Like he wasn't.
No.
he wasn't no Sean Connery or Clint Eastwood. I can give you that, but he was a great actor. And with his untimely death and whatnot, like he was working on this movie. So my biggest interest to see this movie is to see because he was there from the beginning. Right? He is the lead from the beginning, other than Tokyo Drift, right?
Right.
So my thoughts are I want to see how they portray him because they already recorded half the movie before he even showed up, or not
Right.
showed up before he passed away. So I want to see how they incorporate that. Like, does he go and take his family and just say, you know what, guys, I can't do it anymore. I'm gone, and like take off? Like they kind of do something like that. Like I can't do it. He sent me a text. He said he couldn't do it. He took the wife and kids and he's gone. Or like I want to see how they take Paul and portrayed the last movie he acted in with uncompletion. Like I want to see how they take him and move the story around him. And you know for damn well sure that that movie is gonna follow around that. And at the end, there's gonna be in loving memory of and all that.
Right.
Like there's no two cents about it. But I want to see how they take that movie and they transition from the fact that you had an actor that was your lead actor of the series and he passed away, and how you continue and end the movie. Like I'm at a loss for thought. Like how you're going to be able to get there.
Well, when it comes down to actors dying mid production of a movie, I just with all the rumors that was speculated that Paul Walker's brother was going to be in it and he was going to finish up the movie, and they decided not to. They decided to take out that part and revamp it and all this other stuff. But at the same time, like, remember Heath Ledger? Like, he did a movie, Dr. Panaris, and instead of, hey, let's finish this movie with Heath Ledger being in it, no, they just recast it to Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's true. But like in this sense, everyone knew he was working on this movie. Everyone
Right.
loved it. Like same with Keith Ledger. But the sense is he's been around on this bandwagon since the start, right? And
Yeah.
you know, if they turned around, they recasted him in Fast and the Furious 7. If they wanted to make good marketing, because you know, box office day, these guys are trying to make as much money as they can. So they have to make it portray to Paul Walker, because it's a big issue that happened with Paul Walker, and the movie series revolved around Paul. If they recast him, you're gonna have empty seats. That's my thoughts. You're gonna have empty seats at the theater. People want to know how do you take somebody who's been a major role and actor in this movie series for so long and finish it off with making it polite and gentle and like accepting,
Not
not
a
recast.
waste of time.
Yeah, like I no offense to Heath Ledger, but like if you take Heath Ledger and then you look at the thoughts that the movie he was working in wasn't a series, right? Because there's a difference between series movies and normal movies. Like if it's oh well he's gone now, I guess we got to get a new actor, and it's only like one movie, then people aren't looking forward to that. People are, because this is like the last lit images you will ever see of him, right? So when he was still alive, like this movie is now dedicated as like a memorial to him. So if they mess this up, you know, they're gonna lose so much. They're gonna get just bastardized, in another sense of words. People are gonna hate the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Especially if they make him look bad, because they're gonna be like, look, this guy was a great actor. Like, so they can't take him out. They can't recast it. They got to figure out a way to do a plot twist to make it so he like takes off or something like that, and you just never know. Or they do a death scene or something where the car flips and dies and he rolls, and then like it's sad, which would be really bad because of the situation that happened. So like, I'm gonna go see it just for the fact that I want to see how they build this creation up. I'm not sure about you guys, but
I'm gonna see it, but when it comes down to it, I was hoping for something a little more towards the Tokyo Drift side of trying to actually like finish this up like with Lucas Black, and then you have Vin Diesel sitting there at the end of the movie like, hey, I
that
got all the
pissed me
time in the
off.
world.
That
Like,
pissed me off when you didn't bring him back in on the next movie after that.
yeah,
Uh, that irritated me because you fell in love with a new character, right? Like you slowly fell in love with this character. He was a dick, and he just didn't take a lot of crap.
right.
And you'd never seen him again. He was, bye, have a good time, and you're like, what happened? What happened to
Like
that
you
guy?
got Han, you had Bow Wow in there. Like you had a whole bunch of actual like good actors in there, and not to mention like DK who
Yeah,
you know he's doing his own little thing over there in Japan now. But
but I mean, you take this whole series in Japan, right? And then all of a sudden every other series is all back in like Mexico and like it's you almost forget about that one because it didn't make a lot. Like I understand like box office reviews, box office money, like it didn't make a lot right off the bat. But then you
right,
look at it in a bigger sense, it's like um you still fell in love with those characters. Like I don't know
yeah,
about you, but I still like watching that movie
yeah.
because it was different. Like it was Fast and Furious, but it was different with new characters and all this, but characters that overlapped in other series. Like when I seen the ending and Vin Diesel was there, I was like, oh, those two together, that's gonna be
Yeah, it's
awesome.
about to.
That's
He's
what
like, oh yeah, something's really about to go down. Like, oh yeah,
I was like. That's gonna be an explosive movie. Like Vin Diesel ripping around in Tokyo, right, and this kid teaching him blah blah blah, blah and then Vin Diesel taking him out maybe to the States or then they go to Mexico or whatever. Like it's it's different. I'm wondering what they're going to do with that part of the series. They maybe even haven't even thought about that because the movie wasn't like as in the statistics a blockbuster, right? Like, it was okay because it had the name of Fast and the Furious. It had the credential behind it, but I enjoyed it more because I could see myself like not in realistic standards, but like you could see yourself being that guy, right? The outcast at school or anything like that, loving vehicles, loving cars, going to a new place, not knowing anything, and then just it built up his background pretty well. They did
yeah.
really well in the movie. So now this is a movie I want to pull up. I'm gonna actually ask Travis this one first, and then Anthony, I'm gonna get you to jump in afterwards.
Okay.
Travis, are you a
Okay.
fan of Mel Gibson?
Um, Old school Mel Gibson.
So like the original Mad Max series?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the new one coming out in May 15th?
Oh man. I am very. Everybody like people have asked me the same question, and I'm kind of on the fence about it because the graphics, the new things that they're bringing to it look amazing. Like the Outlanders, the Slaughterers, all that looks freaking amazing. But I just don't know if the guy that's playing Mad Max is going to deliver.
It's
That's
it's
my that's my 2 cents about that.
it'll be difficult, Anthony.
It'll be difficult, but I think it's a good time to do a movie like this with people wanting some more action and something that's kind of got a nostalgic feel to it. I think it'll be a good go around. Some people will be angry because they did it over, but I think this one will be a good one to do over.
I now in my sense, I don't mind the fact of bringing a Mad Max back, right? Mad Max, cult classic, one hit wonder, like just amazing movie. You can't help but love it for what it is. You're trying to get fuel. You're in a post-apocalyptic world. Now I'm hoping to God, I'm hoping to friggin' God, they cut the CGI out and they do it like they did before with props, major costumes, going out to these areas like abandoned deserts and stuff, and actually filming like filmers instead of doing half the shit in a green screen studio. I understand budget and cost, but like you want quality over quantity, and if they're gonna do a budget and cost movie where they turn around, produce a movie for the cheapest, I don't know how they're gonna get forward. Especially since most of when you think Mad Max, you think like old Dodges, are they gonna have these new end vehicles in there? Because that's gonna throw me right off. That'll literally throw me right off. Because I'm looking for that old station wagon, man. I'm looking for that old station wagon with those big old fat rear ends, right? Like fucking sorry for swearing, but the drag slicks. I'm looking for that type of car, right?
Right.
They throw in like a new 2015, like I don't know, like Dodge Challenger or something. I'm gonna be disappointed right away in the movie.
I don't
It's
know.
an old. They got old cars in it. But you know.
But they'll live to portray the times, right? They're gonna have some stuff that's really futuristic, which is gonna just throw me off from the original Mad Max movie, which I'll be disappointed about. Because in the original Mad Max, they didn't have any of what we have now.
Right.
You know? So that will throw me off. It might put me on a speed bump for the movie, and I'll be a little disappointed, but it's not too bad. We have the new Avengers movie coming out. That'll be different. I don't even want to think about it. To be honest, like after all the other Avengers movies, I'm just kind of like shoving that one aside. Sorry for anyone that's fans of it. For myself, my own personal preference, I'm not really excited about it.
Why not?
Like after the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and all those other Marvel and DCS comic movies, I'm just kind of done. I'm done. There's always a new Marvel or always a new DCS movie, man. Like it's overwhelming. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Like you guys can ask away, do your thing.
I mean, I look forward to Marvel's brand of cinematic glory because of the fact of the matter is that 9 out of 10, most movies that I'm watching are remakes. Like, it's either a remake or it's a throwback to a homage, if you will, to another movie that was supposed to come out, but it hasn't come out yet. But Marvel is sitting here like, all right, here, look, we got comics on top of comics, and we're going to give you this, we're going to give you Ultron, we're going to give you Thor, we're going to give you Guardians of the Galaxy, we're going to give you all this. It actually gives me something to do. It's like, all right, that makes me want to actually go out and pay $11 for a movie. And plus, like, all my friends would get together and just have fun with it.
Now, the months I'm looking. Travis, what about you, man? Sorry, I'll cut my other end. But what about you, man?
What?
Or not Travis, Anthony. Sorry, I can't see who's talking, and I'm. Shut up now. Yes, I lifted my pinky when I was drinking.
You gotta be fancy with it.
No, I gotta be really fancy with my Cristal glass. No, actually, it's really cheap Walmart glass.
But
All right,
it comes
so
down to it.
now, what are the biggest months you're excited? The summer blockbusters, right?
Yeah.
This summer blockbuster, I think, is okay. So I remember we were talking about flips and flops and games and stuff like that of the new year a few days ago there, and we said that 2014 was year of the indie games, right?
Right.
2015 is year of the movies, I think. I don't see a lot of stuff coming out from producers in video games this year. Right, it was initial rush because they got their systems out and they just like kind of threw whatever games you could get at it, right? This year they're gonna refine the games because a lot of people complained about stuff, which is it's normal, it happens. But I'm looking at 2015 as the year of the movies. There's so many movies here that like I'm just gonna name off a few, okay? all right, so we have Jurassic World, we have Transporter Legacy. Like, okay, so first of all, you talking about Jurassic Park and you're bringing this up again? Yes, thank you. The Transporter, good movie. Up again? Yes, thank you. We got Ted 2, Ricky and the Flash. You're bringing Ted back. Ted the Bear, right?
Yep.
Awesome, put it up there. Terminator Genesis, boop, bring it up. You got Fantastic Four, boop, bring it up. Goosebumps, boop, bring it up. You got Hitman Agent 47, bring it up. Boop. Like, I'm talking between August.
Who's playing Hitman?
Hitman, I play Hitman.
Who's playing Hitman 47? I want to know who's playing that.
Agent 47. Let me take a look at this. Director cast is for Agent 47 Rupert Friend.
Oh man, that might be actually like something worth seeing now. That was not on my radar. That was not on my radar.
Rupert Friend will be playing Agent 47, and he actually looks really badass in it. You guys can't see this, but I'm staring at some stuff. Rupert Friend will be in it, and like I'm not even joking. Like for the summer area, for the summer area of movies, it's gonna be a blockbuster. It's gonna be crazy. You're literally looking at. You got Ant-Man. And like Pixels, Point Break. What? No. Is this a remake?
It would have to be.
I think it's a remake. Point Break. It's 2015. So like I'm saying, like 2015 from June to August, the summer series, you're looking at all of these crazy remakes or new spins of movies, and you got a Poltergeist, you got Point Break, like I said, Ant-Man, the new Terminator Genesis, which I'm really wondering about the Terminator series because after that last nightmare, like I don't know.
Oh, you didn't like the Christian Bale? You didn't like that?
You got Arnold coming back, okay? Yeah. Now, if you say Terminator and you don't think Arnold, get out of the chat. All I gotta say, just get out, because when I look at Terminator, everyone should feel when you say Terminator, you should think Arnold, and Arnold's coming back. Arnold is back, baby.
Yeah.
But then
You think I'll be back immediately? Like I'll be back just comes in your head, man. The minute you hear Terminator.
It says it in the trailer.
I'm gonna need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. I'll be back. Like it's exactly what you think. You got Jason Clarke as being John O'Connor. You got Emilia Clarke, which is going to be Sarah O'Connor. What? They got the same last name. That's crazy. And they're going to have the same last name in the movie. Cool. So you got Emilia Clarke is going to be Sarah. Jason Clarke is John O'Connor. So this one, let me. Do you guys mind if I jump in a little bit of a storyline here for you guys?
Go ahead.
Of the synopsis. So the Terminator franchise launched in 1984 with Arnold Schwarzenegger as the title character has spanned 3 subsequent films, which have earned more than $1 billion at the worldwide box office. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back as the Terminator cyborg with his older appearance will be explained. Why do you look so fucking old, Arnold? Aren't you Terminator? So anyway, it's going to be explained. Don't worry, guys. Was that a fog? So Dana O'Connelly is playing as the son of Miles Dyson, the Cyberdyne executive played by John Morton in the Terminator Judgment, whose character is a little boy in that movie. Emilia Clarke is portraying Sarah O'Connor, John Cordy will be Kyle Reese, and Jason Clarke is John O'Connor. So they haven't really... The project aims to be a continuation of the James Cameron classics, but there's actually... That's the synopsis right there. They give you nothing. It's a mystery. I don't even know what's going to happen from it. So I'm a little... But if they brought back Arnold, you know... Like... It's better than the CGI Arnold. Or it's better than Tron 2, when they came up with Tron 2. Oh my god. That CGI of that mother...
Yeah, that was bad.
I was just like, wow, boys. Like, all the other CGI was great, like the light show and all that. Like, you could just show them in an older state, like an outdated program. You didn't have to turn around and be like, you're still young. Like, no.
Nah.
I think that ruined the movie all around.
Yeah, it did.
I
agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Or not Patrick Swayze, jeez. But anyway, I looked at that and I was like, that's just trash. So we got a new Maze Runner coming out. I don't know if you guys seen the first one.
Hold on, wait. There's another one coming
No.
out.
There's
I
another
haven't.
one coming out September 2015. Maze Runner, there's Scorching Trails. That will be coming out. That's a new version. So you remember how? Has any of you guys seen the Maze Runner?
Yeah, I just watched it. That's why I
I'm
was
trying to
like,
remember if
wait.
I've seen it or not. I don't think I have, though. I'm finna look it up.
Okay, so you remember the ending where all that other crap. I'm just gonna go very blank for if Travis and if you guys haven't seen it, I'm gonna go blank. But you remember all that stuff happened, right?
You can go ahead and
Spoiler.
say
But
it.
remember that junk happened, right?
Yeah.
So and so was like, all right, now they blah blah blah. So this is the sequel we got going on. We got a Hotel Transylvania 2 coming out also.
Oh, see, I can take my kids to go see that.
Yeah. What else do we got? We got Frankenstein, London's Fallen, The Joke. What? No. Are you? No. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I want to know what's going on here.
Are you kidding me? This is really coming out
What?
October 9th, 2015.
Spit it out.
Jungle Book.
Seriously?
The Jungle Book. The Disney classic, The Jungle Book.
Oh yeah. You ain't know about that?
No, man. I thoughts away in the wild. I did not know.
I thought he was gonna say something like all inspired. The Jungle Book. I told you, man. Like Hollywood, ever since 2000, I want to say 2003,
2004.
mid 2000, yeah, 2004. Hollywood has just been, hey, let's do remakes.
And which
Let's
makes
do
sense
remakes.
because nobody else has new thoughts other than Avatar. I'm sorry. Even though people complain that they say that's a remake because it's kind of like, oh well, that's just like
Smurfs
or something like that, right?
Smurfs.
I'm talking. Well, I wouldn't call them Smurfs. I'd call them Smalls, but because they're tall. Anyway, so no, but like people were like Avatar. Okay, well that's just like any Pocahontas movie, right? The indigenous
Right.
blah blah blah. You know what? Actually, for my own thoughts, I went and seen that in like the real 3D and stuff like that. And I was reaching out to try and grab the little fluff balls. I was like, trying to grab them. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it.
I mean, I like it too.
Go ahead.
Sorry, my lip just went up because I just seen something. November 13th, Friday the 13th sequel.
Hold on, wait. The actual Friday the 13th, like the actual Friday, like the one they made where Jason was running and he threw an axe and a crossbow. That one? Or are we talking about like?
No. Here we go. We're gonna go to the synopsis. Sequel to the 2009 reboot of the popular horror franchise. No specific plot details are known. This is Michael Bay is producing this. All right.
Oh no, I'm done.
This is Friday the 13th sequel. Done. Nothing else. That's it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You know what it's gonna be about. A bunch of kids in a getaway, and Jason go get some.
Okay, but in the 2009 Friday the 13th brought. All right, I understand it's a reboot, but I liked it. I liked that reboot because it wasn't about them actually like going to Crystal Lake and just, hey, let's summon Jason so we can all get murdered. They were looking for something, and the only reason why Jason even came back is because the guy from Jason Pollock was looking for his sister who happened to get killed by Crystal Lake. Not at Crystal Lake, by Crystal Lake. But Jason ran in that movie, and he picked up an axe and he threw it, and he used a cross. He added weapons to his repertoire besides just the machete.
Like, other than dark, he got like into the noir, right? Like this motherfucker went down. He went really dark. No, I don't know about this spin-off, Friday the 13th sequel. Like, we got, well, come on, guys. I just told you the director. You all know it's going to be
Yeah.
Michael Bay, so 90% of the time there's going to be an explosion every 40 seconds.
Yep.
It's like, and today we're going to be talking about.
Don't get me wrong. I like Michael Bay. He's great. He's great with the whole TNT and
He's
effects.
really good with the explosions, but sometimes it's just a little over the top. Excuse me.
Transformers.
Oh God, don't even get me started with the last Transformers movie. I don't have enough painkillers right now.
You didn't like it?
No.
Mm.
It's just worse.
I don't think it was the best one, but I liked it. You know.
It was okay. I would say that like I generally would back the movie, but as it came out, it's like all the other Transformers movies after the first one. The first one gave you that big sense of this is Transformers, and then
Right.
everything else after was like, we're just gonna put the tip in, and they just put the tip in. That's it. They just played with the tip. And I'm sorry if people don't get that innuendo or people do when they get angry or so. I'm sorry, guys, but that's what I think of it is they had so much more to bring to the movie that they could have just shoved right in, and they didn't. Then they just played the tip game, right? So I was a
I
little.
think with Transformers, I mean, the universe is so huge, and being myself, I mean, I grew up on Transformers. That's I'm a 80s baby, and I actually was born in the late 70s, but you get the drift. But I was really big on Transformers, so when I hear about this remake Michael Bay's making, it seemed the first one, I'm like, okay, this is hitting towards the Generation 1 Transformers. So I'm like, yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I mean, we got Prime. I kind of like what they did to Bumblebee. They changed Bumblebee a little bit, but they get him just right for this age and time. And like you said, some of the people they brought back, and you wonder why they did certain things, but you just can't get a sense of that he's doing enough. Maybe it's just the nostalgia, but I don't know. I want more from the whole thing between Starscream and Megatron. We haven't really seen too much. We've seen like bits and pieces. I thought they was gonna bring Galvatron into it at one point, but no, nothing.
You don't get the full detail of what your childhood represented, okay? So you're talking about animated series, okay? Where every single episode does something and it changes and it derives from it. It's great to make a 30-minute episode. It does that. But when you bring it to the field and you go, this is an hour and 30-minute video, right? Like, boom, or an hour and 20-minute or whatever. You got to try and cover so much, and then they miss out on the important details which we care about. That's the hardest part. They go for the general care about. I guarantee you. They go on a board, they look up over here, and they go, all right, bang, this is where we want this part here. Bang, this is how it's going to happen. This is one of the back sides. This is one of the fucking rear views. This is this, this is this, this is this, this is this. Meanwhile, even though there's a little tiny circle over here that we really, really care about, I'm talking every viewer cares about, they'll miss it because of the bigger picture, right? It's all about the bigger picture, and you'll miss that stuff. And I can understand why you get sad about it. Now I want to throw something at you guys, and I'm sorry, Anthony, and Travis. I started laughing during this. I can't look at it without laughing. All right, we got peanuts.
Huh?
Peanuts.
Like Charlie Brown.
Is it a Charlie Brown movie?
Yeah.
Is it animated, or are they gonna try to do like?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what is it?
This thing is gonna be
CGI. Is it CGI? Is it 3D?
I'm giving you a link. I can't even look at this without laughing, man. Like how do I post links to you guys? All right, links. Click this little tab here. Okay. Oh, no, that's not that. All right, just search up Peanuts and Movie Insider in Google. Ah, like this thing is coming out. Like, all right, let me read the synopsis. In Peanuts, the 3D CGI animated comedy adventure, Snoopy, the world's most lovable beagle, and flying ace, embarks upon its greatest mission. As he and his team take to the skies to pursue their arch nemesis, while his best pal Charlie Brown begins his own epic quest back home. That is literally the synopsis. Done.
Is Charlie Brown older? Like,
No. He's still like a
No,
12-year-old
same
kid,
time
man.
period.
Trust me, you'll see these sequels come after you watch movies in mid spring to late or early summer. So you'll see these all like fly in. It's gonna be Charlie Brown, as they say.
It's look like it's in like maybe 2.5D or something. It's just like the old, but it looks like it's got a little CGI to it. But it looks just
It
like the
looks
old.
like a South Park movie.
oh dear God.
That's what it looks like to me when I look at the
No.
still frames. It looks like South Park movie. I can't help that. I can't derive from that. So
They have a teaser trailer there too.
I'm not even gonna look. I'm not gonna look. You know, I'm gonna leave this one a mystery for myself. I will try my best not to have any knowledge about this movie till I see it. Just
Oh,
so
it's going to be available in 3D.
I'm done.
So like me sitting in a book. Okay, cool. Daddy! Get her to say hi. Get her to say hi.
Dad, are you laughing at Charlie Brown?
Say hi.
Get her to say hi. Get her to say hello. Bring her up on the show. Hello, how are you?
All right, you want me to bring her up on the show?
Yeah, bring her up. You know what? This show,
Alright.
guys' night, but it's about things that guys. If you're a dad, that's still a guy thing. You're a big dad.
Yeah.
Hi.
How are you?
You done?
Hi.
You want to go see Charlie Brown the movie when it comes out? Peanuts.
All right. Hold on. Wait.
No, never feel anything. If your kids come on the show or stuff like that, guys, anybody that's a viewer, you know what? That's what makes us who we are. I think this is a big way to derive about. We all have our own lives. We all do our own stuff. Some people are brokers. Some people are insurance. Or some people are salesmen. Some people are stocks. Whatever goes across the world. The biggest thing about us on Guys Night is I'm gonna put this forward is, yeah, we're guys. We have families. We have dogs, wives, kids, sisters, brothers, penises. Yes, that's number one point. In the winter, the women, their plumbing stays warm, but the men's freeze. Anyway, So as I'm saying, it's like we got all this going on, but I don't want you guys to think that like this is like our main function. Like you got Anthony, he's got kids, children, he works with babies.
Babies.
Egypt. Babish. I got some babish. All right, sorry, if they're younger than like 10, they're babies. So I have a bad conception of age to time. So if you got children and stuff like that, like it's no problem. You can still be a gamer and a dad and a geek and like of course you will be, and that's the best thing for your kids too. Because if your kids look up to the fact that you enjoy what you do, why would there be any problem? So anyway, away from my little the more you know, throw that away. The Hunger Games Mockingjay 2. Now, I'm not sure if I'm more portrayed about watching this movie because of the live leak, or I'm more portrayed about watching this movie because I watched Mockingjay Hunger Games 1, and I've been following this series. I don't care what my friends say to me. They're like, "Oh, you watched the Hunger Games? You're..." I'm like, I don't care. I like the movie series. I read Aragon. I'm actually really pissed about the Aragon series because they didn't come out with another movie. But The Hunger Games, you know what? It's a great series. It's got lovable characters, kind of thrown in the same plot, but the difference is if you take The Hunger Games and you bring it up to the Taken movie series, right? Like I'm gonna go right with you, Travis, here for this one. So Taken, it's the same thing played over and over again. The Hunger Games, kind of like the same thing played over and over again, but there's a spin-off. Taken can go anywhere. Where in my thoughts, Hunger Games can go in this bubble. So, what are your thoughts on
that? I think it's gonna be okay, but I just wish people would come out with some new movies, you know. But I think it'll be okay.
the hardest thing about new movies though is new thoughts, right? Like you gotta portray trends. Uh, One of my buddies he took film class and like he told me about how people get into like making a movie. Trends, fads. You gotta figure out like the time. There's I can't even explain it because
I,
there's
I know what you're saying because like generally in anytime you do anything in entertainment, you even if it's game design or even web design, so you got to portray certain things. Yes, even web design. Like you got to consider cultures, who would be offended by the movie. You got to do something that's gonna generate uh, interest to all genres and all ages when you want to have a blockbuster and things like that. And what's important at the time, what's going good at that time, you got to do your research. And there's just so many things you got to consider, even with the logo and the colors that in the way the movie's portrayed. You got to think about that as well because, believe it or not, there's all types of things when it comes down to entertainment. I couldn't believe it myself, but it's true.
I think the biggest thing about entertainment is keeping an open mind.
Yeah.
Some of the hidden gems I found in 2014 for movies or games is because I kept an open mind to them. I was like, this is probably going to be junk. But then I thought, and I'm like, you know, why condemn it before I went in and inspected it, right? Like if you're a building inspector, why condemn something before you go in and inspect it? So I went in, I watched a movie, or I went in, I played the game. I'm like, you know what? This is actually good. It's actually better than I thought. It's amazing, and so that kind of left me with a little bit. So I'm gonna go and bring this over to no, I don't know. The movies I'm looking at on the list, like I almost want to. Is this permanent? Ah, it is. Okay, so I can't run on my TV screen. All right, so there is one, two, three, four movies in December 2015 that I'm looking at. Can you guys guess what they are?
I can Google what they are.
No. Just guess. What was the big release trailer last year, 2014? What do you think out of movie trailers that just went
Star Wars.
2015 coming
Yeah.
December?
Let's see here. Star Wars.
That's it. That's like the biggest one I could think of. Everything else is probably going to be swept under the rug.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when it comes to like Hunger Games, I think it's coming out like November, right?
Yep, that's coming out in November. December, you got Star Wars, the folk. Okay. You got the Force Awakens, okay? Coming out, Star Wars. Hopefully they don't crash on this, or else I'm gonna punch Disney right in the throat. Then you got Alvin and Chipmunks, Road Trip. I'm sorry, I like the Alvin Chipmunks movies, no matter which one. Yes, they're
I'll
not.
watch them so you don't have to feel like you're alone. I'll watch them with my
But
kids
they're not
watch
that
them. I
edge where
like
you
them.
just want to like kind of like stab yourself in the ear with an ice pick. It's understandable, but you still love the movie for the fact that what it is. It follows a straight pattern. Then you got Dirty Grandpa. That is coming out. And then you got Mission Impossible 5. Did you think Mission Impossible would come to 5? Look, Mission Impossible. Well, if you did 1, 2, 3, and 4, well, it's not that impossible now, is it? Why? So,
I never got into that series. I just didn't. They seem so long every time I watched them. I just.
There's only one Mission Impossible that I actually really like, and that's Mission Impossible 2.
See, what the worst part about you should actually go and get a tape player and watch Mission Impossible, or go on whichever website hosts it. If
I can go to Netflix, watch some, but I just.
I mean,
you can watch them on Netflix.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is that if you jump back to the first one, and you I didn't understand it when I was a child either, right? I was like, James Bond, right? What is Mission Impossible bull crap? So I jumped back to it a little later in my life when I was 15, 16. I watched Mission Impossible again when I could understand it. Then I did it again when I could understand more. And actually, if you watch it now, as full adults we all are, you watch it and you're like, this isn't actually that bad of a movie. It was great, good storyline, good character creation, build up, and ending. I'm sorry, but I watched Mission Impossible 3 where the chick got had that little implant in her brain that popped and her eye went inwards, and I started laughing in the theater. people got really angry at me because I just burst out laughing when her eye went right inside. I was like, ah!
Yeah, I've tended to notice that when something gory and people supposed to cringe and scream, and I sit there and I laugh, people look at me, give me dirty look as I'm walking out of the theater.
You giggle, and they're like, how did you laugh at that part? That woman was destroyed! It's I'm sorry, but when her eye went inwards, I was just like, I want to poke her in the forehead.
I think it's okay as long as you don't just keep non-stop laughing and you don't stop. You laugh, you have your giggle, then you get your composure. Then it's fine. But if you just can't control yourself, then it's annoying.
All right, I'm going to leave this show to you guys for the next 5 minutes. I need to use the washroom. 5 to 10 minutes, and you guys can figure out what you want to talk about.
I mean,
so can you watch Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol and then understand what's going on, or do you have to watch it from the very beginning to understand, or can you just pick off anywhere?
No, you can pick off from anywhere. It doesn't really matter. That's how the Mission Impossible series is. I really thought that I had to watch Mission Impossible 1, which I already did, to watch 2, but I really didn't need to because the character in Mission Impossible 2 wasn't even in 1. The main villain, he wasn't even in there. And then when I watched Ghost Protocol, it had nothing to do with 2. It had nothing to do with 3. I was
nothing to do with anything.
Nah. You can watch Ghost Protocol and all right, Tom Cruise doing some dangerous stuff, and he's gonna do a smile. He's gonna have a moment before he decides to actually pick up a gun and start shooting somebody. That's how it is. He rather Tom Cruise's character, Ethan in all of the Mission Impossibles has never been the guy to go full on head first into a gunfight. He always tries to think about it tactfully around the situation before he ever picks up a gun to just dive into a situation. But when he picks up that gun, things get blown up and Lamborghinis get flipped over and man. Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why I haven't watched it is because the whole Tom Cruise phase. I'm just I think sometimes people just. But the thing is, people tell me he's really good in this movie, and I'd be like, I think he's overblown. I don't think he's good as an actor as people say he is, but that's just me. So I think that's why I was thrown off as well.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be open and I'm going to give it a shot. I'm adding a couple of the movies now to my list on Netflix.
If you want a good Tom Cruise movie, the what is that? Jack Ryan. Was it Jack Ryan? Oh no, it's not Jack Ryan. It's Reacher. Jack Reacher. I think that's the one. Not the Shadow Recruit one that's on Netflix, but the other one where it's just him standing there. That one. That one is
I'll tell you. I think
probably
that's the name of it. I might have seen that too, but Jack Reacher is the name of it.
yeah, Jack Reacher. That one for Tom Cruise as a um, action movie is probably better than most of the Mission Impossibles that he's released.
The funny things though, I've seen certain things like Jerry Maguire, The
Uh,
Firm. I've seen older stuff. I haven't seen none of his like.
yeah, it's kind of hard to take him serious after you. Yeah, I get that. I get that because after you watch Jerry Maguire, you can't think about him doing, after the show me the money.
I like that movie though.
I mean, I do too, but I'm just saying, this is kind of hard to do that
I
transition.
think that's the only movie that I really liked him in.
Want to give me a feedback on the
Wait a
conversation?
minute, wasn't he in that movie with Jamie Foxx? Jesus Christ.
That football movie.
No, it wasn't a football movie.
Oh, Collateral.
The one that was
Jamie
in
Foxx is a
the
Cocktail?
he was held hostage in the car or whatever.
Yeah, he was a cab driver. He was
Yeah,
that's Collateral.
I
Well,
liked
That was a
him
good
in
one.
that too. I liked him as a villain. I liked him in that. I
What,
did.
Yeah.
what, Jim Carrey? Or not that?
Nah,
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
We still talking about Tom Cruise, and we were talking about why I didn't really watch many Mission Impossible. How I wasn't the biggest Tom Cruise fan. We was mentioning some of his movies, and I was thinking about movies that I actually liked that he was in, and I was trying to figure out the one with Jamie Foxx and
The
Tom
first
Cruise.
one I love about Tom Cruise for movies. I don't know about you guys, but Tropic Thunder when he was playing. I love that. Tom Cruise has an awesome action role. I love it. Anything that is in that side, he does good. He does good. But when he plays the villain, like you guys are saying, he does so good. He should be a villain because that would extend his career as much as I wish it could.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he needs to play more villains. I think the guys like him better as a villain. Women, they want to see him as the nice guy, but me, villain.
But guys, you want to see this? The fact of sounding a little on the offside, or not the offside, but on another playing field. He is a gorgeous man. Okay.
You know what's
He,
odd? This is guys' night, and we're talking about Tom Cruise. That
yeah.
should have been in girls' night.
No,
No, to me, I mean, girls' night. They're gonna probably be talking about like,
they're probably talking about
Beyonce.
next
They're gonna be
Beyonce,
talking about Beyonce. Like, they're gonna be talking about so
Angelina,
much
Angelina
other.
Jolie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think Tom Cruise is a handsome man. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, if this is how your guys' night was not expected to go, I apologize. I think Tom Cruise is a handsome man. This man.
Did that cause you favorite Tom Cruise?
My actual favorite actor would be Jim Carrey.
No, I'm saying you favor Tom Cruise yourself. That's why you say that.
Oh yeah, definitely I do. I wanna just jump all over that. But no, I mean he's played awesome roles in his career. When I seen him, what movie was it that came? I seen him in one of his more recent movies, Live, Die, and
Jack
Repeat.
Ryan?
No, Live, Die, and Repeat. Jack Ryan was a good one,
Oh,
but the one where he,
yeah. When he gets killed every time.
yeah,
Every day
that
he gets
was a
killed.
Tom Cruise role. That was a Tom Cruise role. You couldn't fill that with anybody else to make it as good as it was. I loved that movie. I swear to God, I watched that so many times while sitting in the field, in a tank or in a tent, or I went to my buddy. I didn't have it, and he's like, "Hey man, I got this movie, right?" And I looked and I was like, "Oh my God!" And he had it on his laptop, and I like plugged my cell phone in and loaded it on my cell phone. I watched it with the headphones in, and like I'm sitting in a tent in the middle of a barren field watching this movie going, this is awesome. Because I enjoyed that movie. It was a role where Tom Cruise can play. He doesn't know what's going on. Like, the best part was he didn't know what was going on in the beginning, so it was hilarious. It was
When Tom
kinda
Cruise is lost, it's a great movie.
yeah.
Because World at War, I did not like that movie. I didn't like the trailer. I didn't like anything about that. And then next thing you know, Tom Cruise running through Detroit, lost. People's getting like evaporated, like just gone, turning into dust. Perfect movie. I was like, all right, I can actually watch this.
You got. I think I could say Guys Like a movie where a big male strong lead actor lead is just destroyed, but then somehow goes from this destroyed factor and brings it back up to this amazingly strong factor where you can be like, I think it's more of an inspiring style. Like, even though we don't notice it, it could go and it relates to a lot of us. All right, so not all of us are track and field or major powerlifting or anything. But if you go from a stage where in a movie, the guy he represents almost like what we are as males across the board, right? Like, so I'm talking about any movie. Where you don't feel like you're strong. Like, I know I'm not the strongest. I'm a marathon runner, track runner, right? Like, I can't lift a lot, and I got buddies at work that lift tons and tons of weight, and I feel bad about it. But when you watch a movie star play this role where he's literally just this pawn, and then at the end he's the rook or the queen of the chessboard, right? Like, he is the ultimate person because he's built his way up there. Then we love that movie for the fact that it shows us, yeah, we're down, we're not the strongest, but at the end we can be the best. Like, that's why I think that movie, Live, Die, and Repeat, The Day of Tomorrow, or not The Day of Tomorrow. Day of Tomorrow was okay, but I mean that movie right there where he starts out and he's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and he's like just like sitting there trying to go with it, and by the end he's just this badass character that you just like, man, my God, you kind of love the movie for that, and I think that's the Tom Cruise role. I didn't mind him in Top Gun, or actually one of my favorite movies by him is Days of Thunder, because then there's not enough NASCAR movies out there. I think there's not enough racing movies, and Days of Thunder was one of the good ones.
Okay, by racing movies, what do you mean by racing movies? I haven't thrown a list
Like,
actually.
Like, if we're gonna go racing movies, I'm talking like NASCAR, the feuds between it. Like, the closest thing we got was Will Ferrell and Talladega Nights in the past like 6-7 years.
No. Chris Hemsworth. What's that movie called? It came out like last year. They're doing Formula One.
Oh yeah. Geez, what is the name of that one? Trying to think about that one. Yeah, but I mean, like, we haven't had enough of that, right? Like,
Right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
everything's crushing into this fantasy and action world, right? Like, we got the Lord of the Rings just came out for a new Hobbit movie. We got Friday the 13th, that's another action crazy thing. Mockingjay Hunger Games Part 2, that's an action style thing. Star Wars The Force Awakens, that's an action adventure. Like, all the movies, Mission Impossible 5 is coming out, that's an action adventure. Like, you look at a lot of the movies, it's all this get her right in there. And sometimes you just need some of those movies that are just kind of like not action adventure, but like adrenaline pumping, but racing wise, right? Like, I love racing movies.
Like that build up.
Yeah, you don't, and I love the movies. That's why I think I liked and I'm gonna bring it back a little bit for you guys. I'm gonna bring it back to Tokyo Drift, okay? So this young guy that doesn't know squat about drifting and ends up being the top drifter. That's how I could feel about Live, Die, and Repeat with the Tom Cruise movie, because he doesn't know crap about wearing this mech suit or anything, but at the end he's he's a baller. He's a boss. He's the craziest guy on the battlefield. So I like those movies where it takes it from point A and brings it to point B, where B is the all-star team. You're talking, you got Michael Jordan, LeBron James, you got all these guys, and they're just shooting three-pointers all day and putting in alley-oops and dunks until you're dead. Right? I love those type of movies.
So I know this is not it's not a movie that's coming out this year because it already came out last year, but you should watch. Now it depends on how you watch this movie. You should watch the new Dragon Ball Z movie.
Well, I don't know if it's a new one, but I did watch the
Battle of the Gods.
I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen the first one that came out, which was non-animated.
Yeah, that one came out this past year, I believe. I got to stream it for and review it for free. It was really badass.
Like Battle of the Gods. I don't want to give too much away for anybody that hasn't seen it, but you see Goku in a whole new light. You know how like normally you have Dragon Ball Z where like Goku is just going through, he'll get killed, like it'll be done and be like, all right, I can't. Then he'll wind up getting somehow he'll wind up coming back stronger. And it's like, all right, yeah, I'm about to whoop like so much ass, but at the same time, Battle of the Gods goes in a whole different direction with Goku. It's like, seriously? Like you're not even playing with this man anymore. It's like you're really just getting your ass kicked. Like you're done. You're so done.
So it's bringing a new twist on the series, right? Like it's doing something that you expected the norm of, and it's flipping it, and then it's bringing you a new presentation of like the inside struggles and whatnot, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
And then that's what I like about movies is when they turn around, they break the norm. Like not everything has to be the same. Like let's go back way early 2015 is what's coming out. Taken 3, right? Like I look at that and it follows the criteria for it's like almost the same movie, and you just kind of like poking same button.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to go to a job where you press the same button to do the same job every single day. And
like one of the best, I think most people that sit in a desk like want it because when you crack the dude over the head with the keyboard,
yeah,
like you don't want to see when you go to a movie, you don't want to see the same thing over and over again. You want to see something new, and I feel like Hollywood nowadays is, when it comes down to a sequel, it's like, hey, this is what we know, and we're going to pay you a lot of money, so we know you're going to do it. You know, we're just going to throw you in there, and that's how it's going to be. But I feel like they're afraid to take a chance with something new and edgy. That's why indie movies are starting to creep up a little bit now. Like, you go on Netflix, and you like, oh, foreign, indie, those things are great. Those movies are great.
Cinematography. What is it? Jackie Chan has a new movie coming out.
Yeah.
It's not even listed on like the top movies of. I got a screen over here which has the top movies listed. The thing everyone's looking at that's coming out in 2015. Jackie Chan has a new movie coming out, and it's just like it's under the radar. But because I know the quality of Jackie Chan and I know the quality of his movies, that he's been a major Hollywood star, and this guy's been around for decades, I know it's going to be good because he won't play in a role where it's crap, right? Like this guy's coming to produce a good movie. Just like when the only role that I think he played crap in, but it was actually really good, surprisingly. Like in the beginning, I was like, I don't know. But at the end, I was like, this is awesome, was The Karate Kid, when they revamped that.
Oh, the one with Jaden Smith?
Yeah, and they brought back Jackie Chan. I was like, not too bad. I love the Jackie Chan thing where, like, the kid was watching and he had the chopsticks and the fly was moving around. And then instead of actually turning around and like getting the fly with the chopsticks, he smacks it with a fly swatter. I was like, that is awesome! I loved it. It was crazy. It was like as small as you wanted. Like you had that little enjoyment where if he caught that thing with the fly chop, you're like, oh yeah. But when he crushed it with the fly swatter, you're just like, Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. God dang it. Thank you. That's awesome. Because you don't need to be a superstar to make a good role out of it. And he did good in that one. But other than that, we only got a little bit left here. We've been running for about an hour and a half now, I think.
Yep.
An hour and a half. So
Yeah, actually about 2 hours.
about 2 hours.
Yeah.
It started at 7:30 to 8. I don't remember.
It was supposed to start at 5:30 Mountain Time, so 7:30 Eastern. But we started around 8, so it's about what? Yeah, it's a little bit later. About 7:30 Mountain and about whatever mathematics that way. Whoopsie. All right. But no, I really think this year is going to be the year of movies. As much as games are crazy and out there and what's going on with games and wise, movies I'm excited about because there is just so much you get to. I hope, but not hope this is the last Star Wars. Like I hope this is the ending, but if it's crap, I hope it's not.
Right. Like,
I hope this is the tie off, the final loop around the tree, bunny rabbit through the hole and out. Right? Like I hope this is that.
I mean, Return of the Jedi was the ending of everything. Like, all right, this is done.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, well, this is not a episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. This is not that. This is, hey, we're going to reopen the Star Wars franchise because we feel like
Well, like
the next generation needs to see this.
the the reason why I don't give a flying duck about the next generations. Okay, so I'm gonna be as politically correct without swearing. All right, you got Harrison Ford. He's coming in as Han Solo again. Okay,
Right.
cool. Check that. Mark Hamill coming in as Luke Skywalker again. It's been years. You got Carrie Fisher coming in as Layla.
Yeah.
Like at that three, you got the tripod, okay? You got the basis to do whatever the hell you want with this movie. You got whatever you want to do with this friggin' movie. You got the top 3 people that everyone cared about. Lando Calrissian, nobody cared about that guy. Like the guy screwed over Han Solo.
Lando Calrissian came back.
He did come back, but he did screw over his buddy in the beginning, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Leia Solo are actually coming back as originals. The original casted crew. Other than that, I don't care. You gotta make it good. You gotta make it good. From what's here, this has to be the finisher.
I mean, I just want to know who the Sith is. I want to know how he became Sith. I want to know. I really want to know. Did Lord Vader did he have an apprentice? Like, I really want to know if they're about to like take on like the whole. What was the game? What was the game? Oh man. Star Wars. It was a game where Darth Vader had a Padawan.
I think it was called The Apprentice. Hold on.
All right, well, that game, and they was talking about it. It was like, all right, well, they're making a new Star Wars. There's going to be a Sith in it.
Oh yeah.
Like, how did this Sith come about? Is he from
Actually,
Darth Vader's?
Adam Driver is the undisclosed villain. So if we look at this, it's probably somebody. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy or thoughts going on about how the trailer played, right? Like you got this really crackly six-sided lightsaber, right? Like red crystals and everything.
Yeah.
And it sounds like somebody who had a basic knowledge of making, but didn't really make the actual lightsaber. Like it's not an actual lightsaber. It's kind of like a Walmart version or a Target version, right? Like that. Well, that's the easy way I can explain it. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a very easygoing version of it. Because they say it crackles and the sound power. Like there's some guys who are really into this and they're like the sound quality and like you would think the power fluctuation rate to blah, blah, and they go right into stuff. And my mind only goes to okay, he's not made a good one, right? So they're
I
thinking
mean,
that guy there finally found the Sith, went up, and he had the Jedi powers, kind of like Luke, but like an earlier version or a younger version of Luke. Because Luke's going to be an older man now in this one, where he's probably going to have children. Hopefully not with Leia, because that would just be awkward, and then just bring up so many questions.
well, Han and Leia got together, and they have a kid,
Yeah. So
and
that,
the kid is in the story.
yeah, and so like I'm really really excited about this one. This one I think this might be the tie-off, guys. Either that or gonna milk it for one more year.
I mean, it's owned by Disney, and so
Disney
yeah.
has the new Jungle Book coming out and all that other happy-go-lucky stuff.
Disney is making money hand over fist just by Marvel alone. So
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
like,
But you know Disney owns the rights to Star Wars too now.
Yeah, they
yeah,
do.
So
They better not
and
fuck it up.
Disney's not going to sit up there. No, I mean seriously, they've been filming on location around the world. Like, hey, we need a desert. All right, so we're going to Saudi Arabia today, and we're going to stay there for 3 months just filming. Okay, all right, just
Yeah.
sign the check. That's what Disney is doing. Disney is not having any control over any of the franchises that they've bought, like or Marvel and Star Wars. They're sitting there and they're letting each studio just do what they want to do.
I'm gonna leave you guys to chat for a few seconds. I'll be right back. Just say he's watching it.
Like the
the
only thing I
game
can
that
say
you was
about
thinking of was Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
thank you, thank you. I have it. I just don't know what it is.
But yeah, in that you're thinking that they might do something with the Apprentice. If Vader has an apprentice on there or something.
Yeah, because that was the rumors that were like speculated way back when Disney bought the Star Wars series, and it was like they're gonna make another Star Wars, and it was like, all right, so who's gonna be the villain in this? Everybody speculated like, all right, so they're gonna go from the Force Unleashed side and have the Apprentice come into the actual movie role as being the villain and everything else like that, and then I saw the trailer, and this dude has a like long sword, uh, long sword's lightsaber. Uh, yeah, because it has two beams of light coming off the side that are short, and then he has the one long. Yeah, so I saw that. I'm like, all right, so this isn't The Apprentice, but I really want to know how are they going to tie in
I think
how
his name
this
was Star
Sith
Killer or
thing.
something like that too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Starkiller. Yeah, his name was Starkiller.
Well, being that that was bridging the trilogies together, that is a good point. That game bridged the Star Wars trilogies, the origin and the Rebel Alliance from the Galactic Civil War.
Yeah, but it's not like, and what is it?
But if they do that, then you know this is not going to be the last one.
No, no, by far, I don't even believe this is going to be like anywhere near the last one, because Disney wouldn't have bought it for the price that it bought it for. Without, nah, it's not happening. They're gonna probably get like a good like four movies out of it. Like Star Wars is gonna be like, yep, 1, 2, and 3 and 4. And that's how they're gonna bump it out.
I'm trying to remember when Star Wars got started. Like, when was the first movie originated? Like, what year was it?
I think it was 1970. I know it was in the 70s. It's not.
And this was born. This started before I was even born. This is 1977. It was the year I was born, but May 25th, 1977
Yup.
was when it was released. The very first Star Wars.
And that was the part 4. That wasn't even like the first. That was the part 4 movie, and everybody just part 4 and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and early 2000s you got Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3. And then you had the classic Blu-ray re-release of the guy from Episode 3, big Darth Vader. That was funny.
And it's not going to be the last one because I'm looking on Wikipedia, which is always not really the best source, but they have something on here that says that after The Force Awakens will be Star Wars Episode 8 and then Star Wars Episode 9.
Please no. I'll be right back. Sorry.
A 2017 release and a 2019 release.
I mean, Disney paid a lot of money for the Star Wars franchise. They paid a lot of money. It's not like, oh yeah, George Lucas just sat up here and was like, I'm gonna give this to Disney. No. It was, they had to, it's like, oh, we'll give you $1 billion for this. Nah. We'll give you 2. Nah, not happening. We'll give you 3. They just had to keep going until like he was like, yeah, all right, here you go.
And that lets you know how much money he already had. To be sitting there like, yeah, I'm not gonna take $2 billion.
I mean,
I'm
like,
not gonna
George
take 3.
Lucas sat up there and was like, this is his baby. This is his. This isn't anybody else's creation. This is his. This is like, yep, this is his. And it was funny because Disney had bought LucasArts way back in like the before 2001. They bought LucasArts. That's who made the games for, like, you know, Battlefield, like Star Wars Battlefield, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and all that other stuff like that. LucasArts got bought out by Disney, and then now in 2014, you hear, oh yeah, so by the way, you bought the rights to Star Wars now. It's like, y'all just wanted Lucas's work so badly, and Lucas was not going to let it go for the chump change. It was not happening.
So how's the conversation gone? A little bit out. What's up?
We're still talking Star Wars. George Lucas and him saying, "Nah, I'm not gonna take $2 or $3 billion. This is my baby, and I need a little bit more than that."
Yeah, no, that come on, that thing, that put Lucas on the map. LucasArts, you're talking, that is, like, I would definitely say that is his baby, his birth child. Like, that is, you can't not throw that away for nothing. Like, I was surprised by how much Google bought YouTube for, or how much Amazon bought Twitch for, right? Like, I was Foghorn. So I was really surprised by those things, and not really surprised by how much George Lucas was asking Disney for. Like,
yeah, I also brought up how long the series been around. The first film was in May 25th, 1977. And look, here we go, decades later, and it's still alive.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I'm hoping, and I feel bad for saying this, is I hope they make a new Indiana Jones. Because that last one. That last one.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seriously. From the last one. You want them to make a new one.
Look, I'm fish hooking
You
myself.
wanted to make a good exit. That's what he's saying.
Good exit. Like the finisher, what they did with the last one, the Crystal Skull, was just kind of like
South Park
couldn't-
said it best, man.
you couldn't have smothered a baby faster. Okay, like
South Park said it best. They raped him. That's what happened. It just rapage.
it was the dying of a dynasty, man. Like
You had Alien.
I don't want to talk about that. That threw me off so much. I was like, really? Really?
Exactly.
Really? Like
that's another movie. That goes with Call of Duty Goes.
no, that goes with like fucking cowboys versus aliens, okay? Like that fucking nightmare. Like when they released that, I was just like,
You were supposed to do it.
my childhood is destroyed.
Not me. It's not my job. It's your job.
So you brought the thing. Hold on.
Yeah, no, you go do that stuff. Go do that stuff. But I mean, like when they released that movie, it was literally like the destroy. And I can speak for myself. I'm not speaking for anyone else. When that movie came out, it destroyed my childhood. It destroyed my childhood. Go nuts. Say what you need to say, man. Other than that.
But don't let it destroy your childhood, though. I can understand your pain and why you want another movie, though.
I want a good finisher. Like that movie that series, not movie, but that series deserved to die with dignity. And there was no dignity involved with that ending.
No, it's like the ending of Old Yeller.
It wasn't like even Old Yeller had a little bit of respect. That there right there was oh my god.
No, I mean honestly, like go back and look at it. Have you seen like Old Yeller as an adult?
Yeah, it's scary actually.
Exactly. Like,
but it just there was so
Nah.
much. There was so much that you could have done. That you could have made this thing just good. But to bring in really horrible acting and as Russian, and you bring Buddy swinging in the trees like Tarzan with the monkey,
you're hurting yourself by thinking about it, man.
I am. And then like aliens are. I was just like, you ruined a cult classic. Like that's it. That's all I could think about that one. Is they damaged it. So I'm hoping they will create a new one, which they're gonna have losses. They will. Because of what a travesty the last movie was. It was a nightmare. But if they come back and they make the movie, and they got to do it old school. A lot of filmmakers don't understand this now. They're all looking at CGI and all this other stuff. I gotta understand. CGI can take you to places that we can only dream of. But when it comes back to like that original movie feel, where you had somebody create a miniature set of your movie that blow up, right? Like there were people out there in the movie industry that would create an entire replica of the scene you wanted in a miniature scale so they could blow it up with the train going through and all this, and it looked like it was realistic. Now you can do that with CGI and all. They're throwing away the values of what movie making was for this new technology. And if they want to make a good one, I think the best way to do it, if they're going to revamp it for a new series, is Indiana Jones teaches all his knowledge. All his knowledge. Like, I mean, I don't mean part, and then they make another movie where he gives part. I mean, he teaches everything, just like a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars movie Padawan. give everything away. Give everything.
And then die.
Okay.
End it with
What
Harrison.
actor? Okay. What actor would live up to Harrison Ford screen capability? Like, come on, man. It's just.
But that's the thing is we put him on a pedestal, right? Harrison Ford has had a great series. Just like if we take a Clint Eastwood movie, he's on this huge pedestal, and people have to build up that Sean Connery movies. You got to build up this huge pedestal, right? Like that's the problem. Is all these young actors are coming in, they're getting thrown in CGI, and they're getting in there, and they're like, hey, we're not so bad, blah blah blah, and it's not that they're not good actors. It's that they need to get back to the basics of acting. They need to get back to you're gonna be out, you're gonna hate your friggin' life, and you're gonna do this film, and then at the end you're gonna love it, and people are gonna love you for it. If you just throw these guys in a film studio with green screens all around to jump around and bounce around on a fake set, which isn't out in the middle of the desert, and you're not sweating because it's not warm, and you got somebody with a water right next to you, like, here's your water, Mr. Blah blah blah. Like they're not gonna be hardcore actors. If like that's the reason why I think actors that are still portraying like Tom Cruise and all this, like the guys that are still from the old generation, still doing movies like Clint Eastwood. This man is in his like 70s, 80s area, and he still did those movies. Like what was that movie that he was in? He said something about Asian people, dark side, get off my lawn. That one, that movie there. But you win that movie and you're like, wow, he said that. But it's a Clint Eastwood film, so you actually expected that. Like, if he didn't say anything more to that, you would be disappointed, I do believe. Like, yes, it's a little bit derogatory, and all, but it's Clint Eastwood, so you expect that from him.
Yeah.
An aged actor, somebody who's been doing this for friggin' a millennia almost. Well, not a millennia, but
It's like they caught him, but the movie that you're talking about, it was like he was going through some real like personal stuff when he made that movie.
yeah,
Because you saw it wasn't like
it was really
it wasn't like a dirty.
It was a
Yeah,
dark
it wasn't like
it wasn't dirty. It was dark.
It wasn't like a dirty, hairy movie though. That was like Clint Eastwood had a senile moment and went back through all his stuff and just put it right there in that one movie. It was like, yeah,
but that's what made it good.
Yeah.
In my mind, that made it good. It made it relatable.
Mm-hmm.
In the bigger sense, like we can all feel that pressure of time. Okay, like we can all feel that. We know time is clicking down on us. We're all just expiry dates. I'm sorry to get dark with you guys, but we're all just expiry dates. We're here on this world for the time that we're here. We do what we do to make ourselves around, right? Like I can promise you that I will not live a million years. I can promise you that with the full of my heart. I know I won't live a million years old. I won't live 100 years old. I guarantee that because age is declining for males so much that I think like the average life expectancy for a human being is like what 70 some odd years. But I can accept that. So when you sit there and you take somebody who's been around for so long, they throw up their movie, like you gotta accept the factors behind it. Like people take the movies in for what they are and what they get, and right off the feed of what the movie is. I take it in for like relevant stuff. Like I'll go back to that Tom Cruise Live, Die, and Repeat movie. Okay, Tom Cruise, he's getting older. He's still doing these action movies. I watched this with Jackie Chan, like as a child. Jackie Chan getting older, doing these action movies. Like you're gonna get hurt, and it's not gonna repair in like 2 months. It's gonna repair in like 8 months. Okay, like it takes time. And you're expecting that. But when people throw in these actors and they think that stuff is going to just peel out in like the next like 4 or 5 months, no, you got to take the time to realize everyone's getting older, everything is getting a little harder, everything's getting a little more crazy, and you got to just kind of bring it back a bit and accept the fact that everyone's older. Like, I'm sorry, I could sit there and hope to God death that they're going to bring out a new He-Man movie. I want Skeletor, right? Like that coming out, but it's not.
Hey, I feel like that movie was not, done correctly either.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
I
It
feel
needs
like
one good last, go out with a nice ending, as you said.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like that's gonna be a lot of pieces to rebuild from that movie. Like you
Huh.
can't mind wipe everybody that went to go see that movie and be
Like,
like, oh yeah, so we're sorry. Like
it's
press
almost like
release
the GI Joe
conference.
series. It's like the GI Joe series. Not bad, not amazing, right?
The GI Joe series should be done. Like if there's a third GI Joe, I'm going to be upset.
I'm gonna lose my mind because
I'm going to literally be upset.
I'm sorry. I played GI Joe on like one of those 8 flip floppy disks. Like I mean floppy. Like you could wave that thing. It was like right, like one of those discs. I played a GI Joe game on it. I
Right.
remember slamming it in. The little tab went and clicked in, and like I played it. Like it was 8-bit anomaly of horror. But I loved the game, and like you think GI Joe, and you played with your little action figures like 20 friggin' years ago, and you loved it. And then they come out with this crap, and I'm
You're
like,
like, what the hell? That's
this,
all you can say.
like all I want is Sergeant Sam Slaughter. That's all I want. Sergeant Slaughter. I want Batman to be and just drill into somebody like a Marine Corps DS, which is meant to be because that's how what he is designed behind. I want him to just rip people apart and smoke cigars and just be him. But the thing is, now we got to cater to a new generation. I understand it. I digress in my points of loving what I love, what I want. I do understand we have to cater to a new generation, but they cater so much to just bastardize what is there.
All right. You want to talk about catering to a new generation? I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it now. Godzilla.
No.
You want to cater to a whole new generation, but yet you don't have 1 ounce of respect to actually have an actual Godzilla fight until the ending of the movie.
Wait a minute, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, my bad.
Now, but I have it on Voodoo. Like, Warner Brothers has this little A-list community thing that I'm a part of, and at the end of the year, they gave away a bunch of free digital movies on Voodoo, and I just I haven't watched it yet. But that was one of the movies they gave away. But I plan on
Well,
watching
I
soon.
know, I know that it's about to come on Cinemax next. Well, no, it's coming on Cinemax this Saturday. I think it's either this Saturday or next Saturday. No, it comes on the 16th. Yeah, next Saturday. Um,
I I have no words.
yeah,
No
exactly.
comment. That yeah, but that's the thing is they're looking for the new generation, right? The ones that don't know, the ones that don't know the series. Like I had it. I.
Like, you want to talk about Hollywood and next generation stuff? Like, I can go down the list,
Oh,
and
we could all.
yeah, I mean, we all could go down the list. But all right, all right. Have you seen? All right, not Need for Speed. No, I'm not going to talk about that.
No,
Um, nah, I'm not going to talk about that.
no,
Speed
Mary
Racer.
Smith, Jr.
Speed
Oh,
Racer.
not not an amazing movie, not a bad movie. It was
Exactly.
it was parkour. Okay, it was good. It was all right. I was accepting about that.
Like that's all right. You took an anime. You got the because you got the idea from anime, and you made it American. And you gave it the all, but you gave it the anime feel. You gave it the style. You gave
I
it
like
the
that.
pizzazz. You kept the American acting though. You kept that. Kept that. But you gave it the pizzazz of being an anime. And then you threw it out there for these kids to watch, not knowing that these kids don't know what Speed Racer is. But you know the adults that are going to take them to go see Speed Racer, they know what it is. And you made it what PG? Like Speed Racer was like a PG movie. I had no problem with that.
Oh, jeez. I apologize. Oh, Oh no, wait, that's the wrong chat. All right, so guys, I digress. We'll fix this for next week. So when we're live, we should watch the chat and be able to get info from people that want to know about stuff. So there's some issues. I should watch the chat. I did not know. We'll fix this for next week, guys. Anybody that's watching, if you guys are watching and you guys are like, hey, I wanted to ask a question and we never really got around to it, we'll get around to it. I apologize. We'll get to it
I
later.
was watching. There wasn't any questions.
No, okay. Oh, okay. I got a new one here. Uh, from Lady Rage. She just sent me a new message. Okay, my apologies. Sorry. Go on. So I I really don't know what to talk about other than the fact of what movies are coming out and like the nightmares that are coming out and the the gems that you wish are gems but they might come out as like the turd in the pot. I'm so worried about this year. This year is about movies. I want to talk to me in a year right now. Aunt Travis, you guys can crush. You guys can be like you were wrong. But right now I'll start. It's January, and I think this year is the year of the movies. It's the year of the sequels, actually, to be exact. You got Star Wars: The Force Awakens. You got a new Mad Max. You got another Taken 3. You got all these revamps of a movie that made good. So I think this year is the year of the sequel. Anyone here to disagree?
I'm gonna let Ant go first. I'm gonna let him go first.
Father Bob the Airbird Man here. What was that you said? You're like, what the fuck that little motherfucker said? No.
I wanted Anthony to go first.
Eh.
I guess I will go first because I'm gonna need to head out soon anyway. But um, we're speaking on like what I think this year is gonna be again. Is that the
Yeah.
question?
As like a general open statement, like how do you feel the year 2015 is gonna go? We'll touch back on this every guys game night. Right? Like every Friday, I want to do this, so we're gonna touch back and we're gonna see how our thoughts portray this year. So we get a week, and then we get to go. Okay, we're gonna talk about this, and then we portray. Like so far on the first week of January, I think it's gonna be a sequel year. The games are not going to be really involved, right? Like it's all going to be about the new movies.
So am I speaking on the entire 2015 or just the next couple of weeks?
Just for tonight. Just for tonight. How do you feel the year's going to go?
Well, if we're speaking on my predictions for the entire year of tonight in movies, I am kind of with you. I believe it's going to be a lot of rehashes. I think a lot of things aren't going to live up to, what people expected them to be. I think they're going to flop. Um, I do think some good movies are going to come out. I think the Star Wars movie is going to be a success. I think
I hope.
for me, I want to see the Avengers. I'm thinking that's going to be a success. It's just uh, it depends on the villain. I'm not sure who the villain is, but I think the villain is going to make big
Ultron.
a big decision on whether or not that movie makes it or not. What do you say about the villain?
It's Ultron. The Avengers
Uh,
movie is Rise of Ultron.
It still might be okay. Um,
What? Okay, we can't talk about the Marvel. We can't talk about that right now.
we can't talk about. We'll talk about another, and I'll
We're gonna
explain
talk
why
about that
I'm
next week.
not.
We're gonna talk about that next week.
I'll explain my Ultron beef. Um, but I do think movies are gonna be good this year. I think it's gonna be. I don't think this year is gonna be that groundbreaking. Um, in movies, I think they're gonna be entertaining. I think we're gonna get some good, new sequels and things like that. Maybe a couple good remakes. But outside of that, I mean, what I really would hope to see is at least a few, and I don't think we're gonna see that many, but a few original new movies and new games. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think everything's gonna be just rehashes, revamps, and just doing things to make people happy. What you think gonna make them happy, rather.
All right, if you want to make me happy, I want to see a re-release of Invaders Zim. I want more episodes of Invaders Zim. Okay, I want to see more.
Good luck on that one.
No,
All
right?
right, now it's your point. What do you think of this? That what's gonna happen this year? Like we're gonna touch back on this, guys. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back in like 3 months from now, 6 months. Like I'm talking. I'm gonna reiterate every time we do this chat. I hope you guys are part of it because I want to reiterate every single time what we think this year is going, and we're gonna weigh it against what we thought before, if that's okay with you. I want to make this interesting. I want to make us like always a fluid volume or a body. We're gonna change with the times like everyone else does,
Right.
but we're gonna keep our past interests and tell us what we expect for the future. So continue.
Well, if Marvel's gonna drop a movie this year, it's gonna be that Marvel movie, and then Star Wars is gonna wrap it up for the end of this year. But as it goes for like January, February to March, the end of January, there's a new movie coming out about time travel. I think that's gonna be a big box seller right there.
January. Which one? Still Alice, Vice, Spare Parts, Son of a Gun, Strange Magic, Boy Next Door, Mordecai, Black Sea, The Red Army, Regain Sun, Tambuka.
It's a time travel movie.
I got the whole list right here.
I can't think watching it like all day. Like it comes on TV like every day about you shouldn't run into your past self, and like the kids build a time machine. The teenagers, they build a time machine. It's something that like everybody has always wanted to do. It's like if I had a time machine, I can go back and go back and do what I wanted to do. If I could relive my past, I would do it. Like I would fix some things and all this other stuff like that. But for like the whole year, if Marvel releases a movie, it's done. That's all anybody's gonna talk about for like the next like 3 months. So
8 months. No, 8 months. 8 months. 8 months.
8 months.
Let's not go 3. Let's not like shortchange him. This stuff's gonna stretch on.
Like if you take Guardians of the Galaxy, like you had Thor that came out last year in 2013. Then you had Captain America, Winter Soldier that came out in 2014. Then you wrapped it up with Guardians of the Galaxy. It was done. It was done.
All right, so let's take January perspective because I really want to do this for the show. I hope you guys don't mind. I wish Aaron was here right now. But I'm gonna take January right now. I'm gonna take everything that we have and I'm gonna throw it aside. We're gonna go January, okay?
All right, we'll go January.
So for movie wise, game wise, we got Taken 3. We got The Wedding Ringer. The Boy Next Door, Madaki, Black Sea, Red Army, Against the Sun, not Rise Against. So we got a couple of good movies out there. The one I'm looking forward to is Taken 3. Hopefully they changed it around. Oh, and actually I got some messages from Mary here. So anyone here that's able to turn around and share this around in the groups or whatever you please. Anybody that's watching, if you guys want to share this with your friends, please do. Please do. It really helps us out. We're trying to get bigger, and the only way to get bigger is with followers and love from fans and family out here. So the hardest part about being able to do what you want and love to do, which I love to be able to do this. Anthony loves to be able to do this. Travis is gone, but I'm pretty sure he loves to be able to do this. The best part about us being able to do this is without the fan support, without somebody to be able to be like, You're doing a good job, buddy.
Exactly.
And like I think the hardest part about that is like I do my streaming, man, and sometimes I was streaming and nobody. Like I would stream for 7, 8 hours and nobody would come in. And I thought to myself, like I'm like, why am I doing this? Until one person came in. One person. One person could change my mind. Because they'd ask me something and they'd talk with me. And like so I think the same thing with this channel here, guys. Like if you guys ask us a question, if you guys decide to tell us, hey, check out this game or stuff like that, like all this word of mouth. So if you
It's like you said the other week on the 2014 cast. It's like building a snowman. You know, you take this little
yeah,
ball and you roll it and it gets bigger and bigger until you build something. You know, that's solid. Um, that's what we're doing here.
it's the hardest part about doing this. Like people don't understand. It's actually extremely hard because we have to entertain you guys. Like that's why we do these streams. That's why we do Guys Night and all that. We have to entertain you guys. Not have to as like, oh my god, I gotta go and do the goddamn game. I gotta do the goddamn game again. Yeah. Right? But I mean like I sit here and the reason why if you guys sit there and you go, hey, Bird talks too much in the Guys Night, I will cut it out. I'll shut my mouth. But the reason why I talk a lot is because I believe I should always be active. I should always be right on top of you. Like, I'm a tiger in the sky. Right? Like some of that crap. But, I had to do it. There's justification. Don't judge me. But I mean, like,
I just know that.
But anyway, like, I mean, like, the reason why I act the way I do, or Anthony acts the way he does when he does his wrestling stuff, or Travis does his stuff. Like, the reason why we do our stuff is because we're trying to keep it to the point where you guys enjoy it. We're trying to build out, and everybody does this. It's universal across the board. You could go to Fox Network. You could go anywhere, anyone of entertainment, and like I consider myself as an entertainment person. Okay, I come on, I live stream my video game and blah blah blah, and I talk with the chat. I consider myself as an entertainment entrepreneur. English. Let's go. So when we sit there and we want to talk with you guys, I'm not joking. I am not lying to you. I actually want to hear you. I want to hear what you want to have about this conversation. I want to get in there because me, Ant, and Travis, okay? So I'm talking with the three guys that we have here. We're missing one guy, Adam Stanson. He's over here. When we talk about these conversations, we're talking about movies of 2015, what we expect, what's coming out, whatever. We want to hear feedback. We want to actually talk with you guys. And I'm not lying. It's straight up. It's as easy as going down to a dollar store and buying a pack of gum, okay? For $1. We want to hear what's up. Because our word is, what, 5 or 6 people's word from points around the world. But
It's actually 3 people's words right now.
Right now, it's 3 people's words. Canada. You got Anthony Downs. Where are you from again?
I'm from South Carolina.
You got South Carolina, and you got Travis. Where are you from?
I'm from the DMV area, I guess.
You got DMV, you got South Carolina, you got Canada. So you got pretty much just this United States, right? So if we got some people from Sweden or anywhere else across the world, we really want to hear from you guys because we want to hear what you guys are expecting out of the gaming industry. We want to hear what you guys are expecting from the geek industry. We want to hear about anything that you guys are expecting from the video industry. We want to hear exactly what you want to hear, okay? So it's not so much as us like, hey, this is this, and we just shovel you a handful, excuse my language, but we just like shovel you a handful of shit, all right? We're not here for that. We want to be able to take in what you guys want to give us and portray it back out and pass it back out so everyone can enjoy what's going on. Like if you say, hey, there's a new indie developer, and this guy, this game, I tried this indie development, he gave me an alpha dev, and oh my god, it was crazy, it was about this and this and this, and we hear about it, we want to know. because maybe we want to get in on it, right? Like, I don't know if like you ever went out and you're like, hey man, we're gonna go to a bar. I'm going to guys' night right now. Okay, so Mary, please, I apologize, but I'm gonna go with the guys' night theme. So, yo man, I'm going to a bar. I got like the first 6 rounds on us free from the bar. We're going, right? Cool. We got the first 6 rounds. And then we roll up, we add you in, and we add this guy in, we add another person in, we add another person in. They're like, hey, man, but I got a round free from the bar. So that you turn around and you go chat to the bar, and you're like, hey, man, yo, they're with me. My round, cover them too. And so everyone gets a little bit of feed. Everyone's a little feeder fish, and we all end up going away home happy. We all enjoy the night. And so the way I think about it with this stream or with this channel or with this talk is, if I could throw you something, come on, throw me a bone. Throw us a bone. Throw Ant a bone. Throw Travis a bone. Throw Adam a bone. Throw us all a bone. Throw Lady Rage a like. Like, God, please, guys. The best I want is you guys to like our pages, to just get into it, because we got Ladies Night, we got Guys Night. This is what Guys Night's going to be. I'll be honest, that's not straight cola. But just get into it. Ask us anything you guys want, and we'll get back to you with our own personal feelings. You can't quote that down to like, we're not with Staples Business Depot, we're not with Microsoft, we're not with anything like that. But we're with what we are. So look it on what it is.
It's not that we don't have connections, we do, but in order for us to do bigger things, we have to start with smaller things, because we do have a good amount of fun and a good bit of connects. But we need to grow the audience for you guys to be able to be a part of a bigger thing later on down the road.
And you know, it's just like you got to learn to crawl before you can walk. You got to learn to walk before you can run, right? We're in the crawling stage. Soon we'll be able to walk. We'll be able to walk the walk, be able to go to cosplay competition. We'll be able to go Comic-Con and stuff like that. We'll be able to go to the bigger things. Then we'll be able to run with it. And the bigger part about running with it is you'll be able to go to these multinational releases about stuff and whatnot. And we want to bring you guys that. The only thing is we need your love. We need your support. And the hardest part about getting your love and your support is doing what you guys want. So give us some feedback on what's wrong. What don't you like? Like maybe I fucking talk too much. And I think I do. Ant can laugh at this, but I talk too much.
I'm glad you're talking a lot, especially when I don't feel like talking too much. Like, so it's perfect.
You're the only one that's like, on the camera, live stream. When I get my setup right, I'll be on the camera again. But I'm not on the camera right now. So I'm glad you're talking. I'm glad you want to get us, involved in the conversation. You know me, I have no problem to talk right now. I really don't.
No, I know that. Like, I know I got the camera and all that, but that's because I do my live streaming, right? I'm now used to the camera. I find it as like a second nature to have a camera around and like something staring at me, and I go, "Hey, how's it going?" And I get all like dumb with it. But
I'm getting old. I'm getting age conscious. So
no,
and I feel like I need to
look at the side of my head.
I'm getting gray hairs, so like I don't.
Oh, you get gray, motherfucker! Look right there. Look. I'm not even joking.
I see. So.
Guess how old I am.
First thing I want to do is get a better camera than what I've been using, and
it will show more gray hairs.
I think it'll be better. I think sometimes though, it's better to go with like perfection and distortion on your video.
I'm 25 and I got more gray hairs than 35-year-olds. I hate my life.
Well, you say you're 35?
25.
Okay, I can say, yeah.
And I got the hair of a 35-year-old. I know.
I'm not gonna tell you my age.
Yeah, I can only guess. I'm not gonna do it on live stream just to protect the love of you I have.
I kind of told it in this cast when I mentioned.
You told it about 5 years ago when I talked with you.
I did, but I mentioned the age of Star Wars, and I mentioned that I wasn't even born. I was born later on in that year.
Yeah, you're not that old. You got a family though, and good for you. So Travis, how's your night going? Should we end the stream, guys?
I think we're in a way we should. I think Travis left again. Did he leave again?
Yeah,
It says he
he's
left.
pieced out.
I'm still here.
This thing came on at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. It's like 8:20. It's been
I
like,
think honestly, in my opinion, and you guys that watch this, let me know as well what your opinions are. But I feel like, and I've learned this for a long time. Sometimes it's good to have a good amount of time and not go too long when you do a stream or a cast or anything, because usually these days people don't have enough time to do certain things. So if you have something that's long, they might not watch it all, or they'll skim through it anyway. So I always feel like an hour and a half or hour is always good for something like this.
Travis.
I would have to agree because like trying to show this to like my friends on YouTube, they don't want to say. They're like, man, you on here for an hour? You're on here for 2 hours? Like, what are y'all talking about? Like the same thing that we normally talk about.
I'm sitting here like I gotta use the washroom. I gotta go for a smoke. I'm running out on time of my own personal preference, but.
I mean, for instance, like I was considering, like I get, because of what my connection at AGM, I get people from time to time that want me to interview, and I was thinking maybe giving this show the platform for some of that interviewing.
Are you shitting
Because
me?
no, I'm not shitting you. I have a Nickelodeon star. I could send you the email. A Nickelodeon star from a TV show that's coming up. I think is. I gotta look at my thing real quick. My daughter knew the show. It's a new monster truck show. Give me a second, I'll tell you.
All right.
But
Tell the viewers and everything. I gotta pee again because I've been.
all right, the Nickelodeon show is Blaze and the Monster Machines. Now this is a young kid show though, but I think still, anytime you got someone on, you can always ask some questions related to the same thing that we're talking about. And for something like that, you really wouldn't want to go on for too long because those people usually only have a certain allotted time that they want to do their interviews. So you could probably only keep them for 20, 30 minutes at a time. They're not going to do anything too long. Even though I have kept some people for an hour or so, but then I've learned that, you should keep it quick and to the point as possible. Because even with anything you do on YouTube or anything these days, you need to try to keep it to a minimum. That's why a lot of people do Let's Plays and they're like 15, 20 minutes at the longest, and then they'll do another. Or if people do any type of interview, they try to keep it at a 15-minute to nothing never longer than an hour or so, except some of these people that decide to do an entire gameplay in one sit-in. That's the new thing, but I think they just do that for view count, pretty much. And did I lose Birdman?
What happened? He just left again.
He left when I was talking?
What happened?
Wow. Did he leave when I was talking?
I have no idea. I just okay. The next thing you know, I'm like, wait, hold up, wait a minute. Feedback. What is the feedback? No feedback.
He left.
Go ahead, finish what you were saying, man.
I was pretty much finished. I was just rounding up the fact that I believe that it's best to keep things short, and if I was to have someone, if I was to use my contacts to get someone here on the show, we would have to keep it to a minimum as well because they don't have but so much time.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, and it's a good thing for views because people might see the video and decide they want to watch it, but they look at the time and they decide they're not going to watch it. And that was something I used to do on my YouTube channel as well, but then when I start cutting my videos a little shorter, I got more views from them. Did he just fall down? Was that your background or his?
It might have been mine. Uh, Apparently there might be a fire in my neighborhood.
A fire.
Yeah,
Do you need to go?
fire trucks are coming in, cops are rolling in. I don't need to go. It's not my house that's on fire.
Is it close
That'd be wild,
by?
though. That'd be wild. I'm gonna do a stream when my house is on fire.
Is it close by? I don't know. Maybe you feel very dedicated to the stream.
I love y'all, man. The viewers that sit here and they listen to us banter and our back and forth and all that. I got mad respect for them. And
But yeah, I mean, plus I got someone waiting.
I'm about to walk over there.
Someone was texting me during this time period, and I was trying to get to that as well. It is Friday night. This is the one Friday night that I don't have my kids, so it's like, yeah.
kind of want to go out.
Does he have a car?
Well, I'm not going out, but I hope someone come over.
Are we still live?
Yes, we're still live. I think
We're still live right now.
it makes me wonder if Bird had anything in that cup.
Oh man,
Bird.
It's cold out here, man. It's cold outside on the east
Man,
coast.
that was the one thing about this week. It was so cold. Now, if we was talking about this week in general, here in South Carolina, where I'm from, it got 12 degrees, and they said outside it would feel like 2 degrees or below sub-zero temperatures.
Oh God. Bert's got his cape on.
He's
You
got
thought you fell in a toilet somewhere.
What's that?
I thought you fell in a toilet somewhere.
No. I'm not that hammered.
I was wondering what was in your cup.
Just cola.
I mean,
I promise. It's just
No
cola.
brown liquor.
No. I'd be lying to you if I said it. Yes. Well, no.
So-
No.
I mean, it's not like I haven't watched like a YouTube video that's like been like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And the hard part about it.
Different tours of like their games and all this other stuff like that. I've done it. I've watched it. Just like, but that's because I'm bored. I was like sitting there and I'm like,
It's
I've
something to
been at
watch.
work. I was at work one time, and I'm on the computer just watching a 2.5 hour, like, I think it was a league. I think it was League of Legends, just raid. Raid lasted for 2 hours, and I just sat there and I watched it because I was bored at work.
I watched Shack Tack, okay? I watched the Arma series. These guys do like an hour and a half to 2 hour videos of like combat film for a video game. I'll sit there for two and a half hours watching them do this.
Right.
I feel it. Yeah.
recognition through the glove.
Alright, so I feel we should end this stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good. We talked about a lot of stuff. I don't know. Exiting thoughts. Go across. We'll start with Anthony and then we'll go to Travis. Exiting thoughts.
Exiting thoughts. From now on, Gamer Geek Radio will bring you everything you already love about us and a little bit more. But we're going to do it on an hour or so schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony? Or not Anthony, Travis, your turn?
I got nothing.
Oh, one more thing. One more thing. In BSD, I know you've been knowing me a long time. I think you forgot. I think you done got used to call me on a first name basis. But
Yeah.
you forgot that my online name is Ant the Gamer. Just Ant for short, the Gamer.
Yeah. ATG.
All right. You
ADG.
been calling me
Ant.
Anthony the Gamer.
Anthony the Gamer. Ant the Gamer. All
Just
right.
Ant the
And
Gamer.
So,
Or just call me Ant or ADG.
yeah, ADG. Yeah, the same thing. I want you to call me bald sheep or bird, right? So they use this thing. Mary just sent us a link here over on the Facebook channel. So, guys, I'm gonna let you guys know right now. I am the new supervisor for the guys' night. This is it. This is guys' night.
You took my job. No, I'm just playing.
I stole. I stole with a heart and thunder. No, I mean, like, no. I'm the new Gamers Geek Radio guys' night poster. I know Nas is a good guy, but he does a lot of streaming. I think guys' night should be more about what we're talking about. Like I'm sorry, if I want to sit there and talk about Mario figurines, I'll pull it up and I'll go, hey look, so like new Luigi and the new Mario theme is like I don't know, like Luigi seems like he could be more of a badass, or maybe pull it, or maybe talk about Bomberman or Mario itself, or like maybe the Mushroom, or like I think when we talk about Gamers Geek, it's gotta portray a lot of stuff. So tonight we talked about a lot of movies, right? And it may not portray to everyone that's out there. I understand. A lot of people are like, well, what about the new games? Or what about this? I understand. I understand the clash that's coming across. But if we're geeks, we gotta accept the fact for what's coming out. I wanna focus on movies tonight. I hope people can enjoy that, because a lot of the movies define of what your year goes as. You sit there and you're like, hey man, I want to see this, and I want to see this, and I want to see this. I guarantee any of you guys or women, anybody out there right now is going, I want to see these movies that are coming out.
And it's not only that. I mean, by broadening the topic, you're expanding the entertainment value of the show. So we might draw in a couple of people who are the real geeks. Man, they're doing more than just playing games. You know, they're crazy about all types of foreign entertainment, and they're just filling themselves with knowledge on sci-fi stuff. You know, they just, we was talking about Transformers and movies that are like from cartoons like SpongeBob and stuff like that. These are things that turn into games as well, and it just overall good entertainment IPs. So that's geeky stuff, in my opinion. So we want to reach atmosphere of people that are open, broad, and just open up avenues for everything that is geek. You know what I'm saying? Geek or chic. That's us.
Geek Graphique. That
Geek or chic. Geek.
let's call this now from now on this show Gamers Geek Radio's Geek Graphique. We'll talk about anything and everything. I wanted to actually get into SCA combat between LARPing tonight. We ran a little long on the new movies of 2015, which is all right on my end. Like we talked about a lot of stuff. I think next week we should talk about maybe some LARPing SCA stuff, because I got a buddy of mine who's getting into the SCA combat. I don't know if you guys know about this, but SCA combat compared to LARPing is like literally mothers bash. Like these guys are fully armored. Like I'm not joking. These guys are not wearing like Walmart chainmail. They're wearing real chainmail, and they're smashing other guys in the head with hammers and shield bashing, and these guys are getting right into it. And I got a buddy of mine who's getting into it, and I want to bring him on for an interview to be able to do this, to talk about the differences. Just like if it was a cosplay thing or anything. Like I sent some photos into the Gamers Geek Facebook page if anybody's ever checked this out, and it is crazy. Like this guy spent his whole Christmas vacation building armor. Like, I'm not even joking. This guy's got shoulder paladins, like the stuff that you would get in World of Warcraft. You're like, I'm gonna pay $30 for these, like, whatever. It's got a horn and stuff on your shoulders. But this guy went out and built these things, like smashing a hammer against like a stone. I don't know how he did it, but he's been metalworking, and he built chainmail, and he built this vest, and he looks like a hobbit because he's only 5'3", but it's awesome. I love it, and I want to be able to talk about that next stream. I'll get more into that for next stream, but as this stream is, I think we decided easily upon movies of the 2015 nature, what we're expecting for, what we're excited for, and anybody that is interested in this, please do give us feedback. Everyone, post on the Facebook page, post on top of the YouTube page. Tell us what you guys think about what's going on. If I'm talking too much, man, I will shut up. All right, like, I understand. I talk a lot, and that's because of my live stream nature. Like, I get that from my live stream. Anthony knows what I'm talking about. Travis, maybe I do believe you understand. With live streaming, we talk a lot because we want to keep the viewers entertained constantly, right? Like, so if you're gonna come onto my channel and live stream,
What are viewers?
Viewers, they're what's backs us. They are what backs us.
Are they watching us now?
We got 2 viewers.
But they watch us?
Yeah, they're people who watch us, right?
They're looking at you like I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah. They look at you like So it's like if I wanted to watch a YouTube video and you jump on and you watch a person, what he's doing right now. You guys are jumping on right now watching me, Ant, and Travis talk about what we're talking about. Video games, movies, mainly movies.
Bert, you know I'm tripping, right? You know I wasn't serious.
But I gotta explain it. I gotta do my thing to explain this out. So if you guys are enjoying the show, please do give GGR some love on Facebook. Give GGR some love on YouTube. Give ADG some love on EGM.
YouTube, EGM, AtTheGamer.com, EGMNow.com/AtTheGamer, YouTube.com/AtTheGamer.com. And I have, just Google me. I'm everywhere. I got like 2 YouTube channels, 2 websites. I'm on Twitch, even though I don't really stream that much anymore. And I'm on GGR, and I post there as well. So yeah, just check me out everywhere.
I'm getting up there in the streams, man. I'm at over 1,500 or 1,150.
You see, but this is me. I'm trying to make. I'm doing what GGR is doing. That's why I connected up with GGR, because trying to start a community, and maybe if we're lucky, make a little bit off of what we love as well. That's what it's all about.
And the love is about video games. GGR, it's Gamers Geek Radio. Okay, so I look at GGR and I go, okay, yeah, I could. I could, yeah, and Mary asked me about doing something. I'm like, yeah. And then today I was getting home, like I was driving home from work, and I'm like, fun. I'm late from like tonight's stream. Like I gotta get there, and I'm driving my car home, and like the roads are icy. I'm like, I gotta get home. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this set up. I gotta get this run, so I could get there and I could be able to talk to you guys. And you know what? Actually, I'm not crushing Noth or anybody like that, but today being able to talk with ADG and Travis and be able to talk about movies, like just talk about stuff, like stuff that I think matters about like the movie world. I enjoy that. Like I could play games for 9 hours. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I could play games for 9 hours. Ant could play games for 9 hours. Travis could play games for 9 hours. But to be able to talk about what we feel about like with movies and whatnot for about 2 hours, that's pretty up on the scale. To be able to turn around and go from game, movies, right? Like to move it up that scale. And you guys can laugh. I don't care. I'm gonna put it up in a bit. But anyway, I hope you guys give love to the Gamers Geek Radio webpage.
And don't forget to give love to your mama.
Don't forget to give love to Anthony Gamer, Travis. Don't forget to give love to me. Like we want to make this something that you guys want to come to every week. We want you guys to come. I'm gonna be bringing for next week some SCA and LARP. I'm gonna try and get one of my buddies in to talk about SCA, which is the combat variation of LARP. Like, I mean, these guys are literally beating the friggin' crap out of each other wearing armor. He comes into their little area and they go, Lord so and so. Like, it's crazy. So I want to get him on. He's built armor, and I've talked with him, and we're working on it. So I want to bring him in to be able to define the arts of SCA to LARP, right? Like, they're two different aspects. So everyone thinks, oh well, if you run around with a shield, you're a LARPer. And that's dung in the pile. So we're gonna get around. We're gonna get through that. So I hope next week will be an even more interesting and insightful invitation for you guys. And hope for Anthony and Travis that you guys can join me so you guys can understand that there's a difference between LARPing and SCA. Anything you guys want to say?
I'm good. I'm with you.
Ant, I know you've been with me for a long time. I know.
Yeah, I'm good. We're good. Gamer Geeks Radio, we're good.
GGR. What's that? Alright guys, so I'm going to cut the stream here. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for following anybody that's followed. Thank you very much for liking any pages and whatnot. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys are feeling fantabulous. And just smash that like button. Alright, so we'll see you guys later. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Cheers.
Peace.
Cheers out. Anthony, say something quirky.
Yo, we out of here.